something out of this match. They just made one change from that opening game. Lucy Quinn's going to be starting. Marissa Shiva drops to the bench. She's actually going to switch sides with 𝓳𝓸𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 as well. You can see the two top of your table there. Heather Payne, she was a doubt today. She had a little bit of a hamstring niggle, but she has been cleared to start. She's at wing back, right wing back today. Katie McCabe as well, who has been described as many during this tournament and beyond as world class. She captains her side today. Let's have a little look at the Canadian team then, because they've made two changes. So Evelyn Vienne, she comes in for Jade Rose. We think she's going to be starting in the number 9 position. You've got Chelsea's Jessie Fleming coming in as well. Christine Sinclair's been dropped to the bench for her. She's the one that missed the penalty against Nigeria. Look, she is an absolute legend in a Canadian shirt. It's the first time she has not started a World Cup game that she has been available for. This is her 6th World Cup, so that's a big deal. Ashley Lawrence had a pretty nasty tackle on her, but the good news is she starts today too. So there we go, that's how they're lining up against each other. Emma, when we watched Ireland, they sat very deep in their opening match against the Aussies, which worked for a period of time until they missed out and they lost it. They gave away a foul and conceded that penalty. Do you see it happening more today?
Yeah, I do think we're going to sit deep. I think we're going to play that 5 at the back. Katie's going to drop in left side. Heather Payne's going to drop in right side. You can see here what Australia were trying to do and what Ireland did really, really well in nullifying that space behind them and stopping the Australians going back there. But this highlighted space here is where we need to worry about against Canada, because they're very, very good at exploiting that space. Again, we can see here the long ball, which it just wasn't working for Australia, and we did really well. But that space in front of that back 5 is very dangerous for us, and it's where Jessie Fleming will come in, I think. I think she's going to be very important for Canada.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that Ireland dealt with the threat in behind brilliantly, but today is going to be a slightly different challenge. Jessie Fleming, that is her game, you know, operating in those spaces in between the midfield and the back line. The likes of Denise O'Sullivan are going to have to really do a job in that sense, because this is what Canada do. They don't really threaten in behind, they operate in that space.
I mean, they can, can't they, though? Yeah. They can give that threat in behind, and that's the problem. We have to worry about that, and we also have to worry about that space, which, for me, I don't think Australia did very well, is operating in that space. So we really need to be careful of that as well. We've got, you know, that problem of dropping off, but also the midfield need to drop off with us and block that space.
There's the two managers just greeting each other in absolute downpour. It's a lot of rain going on there, which might actually play to the strength of Ireland, perhaps. Listen, we saw a few chances, especially in the last 20 minutes or so against Australia. If Canada give them those chances today, they must take them.
They have to take them, absolutely. And actually, Ireland had the better chances, even though they lost the game. This one here, Kate McCabe, just the first touch, just let her down. If she just had a better preparation touch, get it at her feet, and we know what Kate McCabe could do. I don't think I've ever seen a Kate McCabe goal that's not
on her right foot even.
Yeah,
strike with
and
her right foot.
This one was a big chance. You know, Quinn, dominant in the air. She gets a good run in. She's just got to direct it on target there. Yeah. Big chances, and as you said, if they get these chances today, they've got to take them against a very, very good defensive Canada side. And we know if Ireland come out of this with a draw, it's still a good result. They're still in it.
Yeah, we haven't even managed to speak about the fact that Christine Sinclair, that penalty saved, but it was a brilliant save, actually, and there have been some amazing saves so far in this tournament. We're going to be looking at those in more detail after this very quick break. One of those massive saves, look at that. That was Marriott, managed to pull out that brilliant save and get the 3 points against Haiti for England. We're going to hear from her teammate 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 next. Hello, welcome back. We officially have our first two teams who've qualified for the knockout stages at the Women's World Cup. You see there, 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 making it 2-0 for Japan. They've gone through. Spain's 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓷𝓷𝓷𝓰 as well with a brace in this game, made it 5-0, which is Spain's biggest win in the Women's World Cup. And it means that at the moment they're first and second in Group C. They have qualified. Japan beating Costa Rica, Spain beating Zambia. They're actually going to play each other on Monday in Wellington, and that will decide who finishes top in Group C. And we have it here on ITV1 at 7:30 a.m. OK, well, England got their World Cup campaign underway last week. It was a nervy 1-0 win over Haiti. And Katie Shanahan has been looking back at that performance with Ella Toon.
Paul, this is the chance! Save from Earps. 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 with a one-on-one opportunity, but Mary Earps keeps England in the lead.
How key was Mary Earps in that game?
Yeah, very, but that's Mary. That is why she's #1 in the world, and we see it every single day, and now everyone else is seeing it. You can always rely on Mary. She pulled off a couple unbelievable saves that kept us in the game. She's just an unbelievable person to have around, and someone who I'm very close to now, being at club with her as well.
Serena looked concerned when I spoke to her afterwards. Can you understand why?
Maybe she just looked like that. Obviously, people probably think, oh, you're playing Haiti, you should win 5-0, but that's not the case. You can't underestimate any team in this tournament. The main thing is that we started the tournament off with a win, which is massive and can only help us going forward and build a lot of confidence. And yeah, we dug deep to get it.
Will you need to raise your level against Denmark next, one of the toughest opponents in the group?
Yeah, of course, we always have to raise our level against every team. We've got to be at the top of our game, and they'll do something different to Haiti, and we'll have to manage that. We'll have to stick to our game plan, and each day we're all working hard in training, and we know that we're going to have to step it up even more now against Denmark.
You became a household name after your amazing goal in the Euros final. Can we expect more magic this time around?
I hope so, that's what I'm aiming for. If Kira chips in behind again, I'm sure I'll get on the end of it. But no, like I say, I just want to give 100%. I want to do what I can for the team, and that'll always be work hard and be creative when I get the ball. But yeah, hopefully a goal does come, but I'm not forcing anything.
OK, there's been some bad news, actually, for Ireland. Since we've come on air, we did say, actually, that Heather Payne was a bit of a doubt, and that was a hamstring problem. She's actually pulled out before the game's kicked off in the warm-up, and Anya Gorman is the player that's going to come in and replace her in that starting lineup. That you can see tears there. An awful thing to happen just before this match, which is so important for Ireland, because they cannot lose. If they lose, they will not be able to qualify for the knockout stages. Emma, bad news. Tell us about the replacement now. How is this going to affect the team?
I don't think it's going to affect the team too much, because it's Anya Gorman coming in, who's a really experienced player. She actually plays as a striker for the Women's National League, and she plays right back for Ireland, obviously. She's loads of experience back there. She was playing when I was playing, that's how long ago she's had those starts. She's more defensive, I would say. She might not get up the line as much as Heather Payne, but she'll bring another defensive aspect to the game, which I think is a good thing, actually. You know, Ireland are in good hands with Anya. She's a great player, really experienced, so it's not a horrible thing to happen.
And if Ireland manage to hold them to a draw, it does keep their hopes alive of qualifying for the knockout stages. Speaking of keeping hopes alive, Mary Earps did that for England against Haiti, where they were struggling in front of goal. She actually saved, it was a brilliant save, which we're going to show you in just a second, and it managed to secure these 3 points for Ireland that they desperately needed.
Yeah, I mean, this is what Mary's about. Huge personality, and you know that technique of spreading her body, making the goals smaller. Great save at a moment in the game that was really important, because
what a save! What a great
yeah.
save! It's really difficult for a goalkeeper here, because you want to go with your hands all the time, but because it's so close to her, she makes a really good decision to go with her foot. It's a reaction save, and she helps out her defenders there, because Millie Bright looked a little bit static there. She didn't move very well, so that's when you need your goalkeeper to come in.
And she hadn't had that much to do in the game so far. I imagine that's even harder to make that save. Speaking of saves, we're going to do a little bit of goalkeeping now, because there have been some tremendous saves in this tournament so far. Christine Sinclair actually had her penalty saved as well against Nigeria. This is Canada drawing 0-0. Emma, I really want to ask you about this one.
I think it's a brilliant save from 𝓣𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. because it's right in the corner. You know, there isn't great amount of pace for it, but she does really well. It's low down. And then it's just the reaction after it as well. Like, she palms it back into a dangerous area and is able to react and just push it away. I thought it was a brilliant save from her. And then, of course, we're talking about the rest of the goalkeeper. It's been a great tournament, to be honest, for goalkeepers. You have Mikkelsen here for Norway. That's a great top-hand save. She really has to adjust. Look at her footwork going across, and then to the technique of pushing it over. And then you have Victoria Essen here for New Zealand. Just gets the slightest touches, and a lot of people mightn't even realise the effect she'll have on this ball, but it does push it onto a bar, which is brilliant. And here we have, it's a brilliant save. It is actually offside, but it's one of the best saves of the tournament for me. Just getting across the goal so quickly and then being able to make that reaction save so close in. Of course, this was actually given as a goal kick, so she didn't even get the credit here, Mannion. But it actually took a little deflection, which makes it an even better save. And those obviously vital little finger saves there, push it around the bar. This is a great save from Bailey as well. She would have seen it a little bit late. It comes through a bit of traffic, and it actually is swerving. It's swerving back in towards goal, so she does really well to deflect it over the bar.
I think
this is my favourite. This is brilliant. I mean, this had me off my seat. It's actually a perfect, like, it's a great ball in. There's absolutely nothing else that the New Zealand player could have done, but what a great save from McDaniel just to touch it around. And such an important moment. It meant so much to the team.
Great result for them as well, wasn't it?
Really great result. OK, guys, we'll get more of that later on, but did you know that 10% of Australians have Irish heritage, and that is according to the 2021 census? Who knew? Well, Perth has a large Irish community, and that means that the girls in green should be very well supported in their game today. Do not go anywhere, because teams will be out after this very quick break. World Cup in terms of distance travelled and teams competing, and in response to that, a group of players have decided to take some action over it, and that's over the number of flights during the tournament. They are offsetting their carbon footprint, which we just think is marvellous. Players taking the initiative to do something about that. Now, Ireland will actually travel the furthest through the group stages, over 5,000 miles from Sydney to Perth and then on to Brisbane. So, look, loads of travelling for these teams. Ellie, I know you've been there and done it. What effect does a lot of travelling have on players?
It does have an effect. I mean, since the last game, it's been 6 days. So initially, the first 2 days, that's when you've really got to focus on your recovery strategies. And I would hope that Ireland would have all of those resources, you know, the recovery legs and the ice baths and the sleep. All of those things in the first 2-3 days you have to get in, because at this point now, you've got to be ready, you've got to be energetic. I think 6 days is a good amount of time, to be honest, between games. So I would hope that the tiredness from the travel would not affect Ireland's day.
It's the cultural welcoming that we're seeing almost all the matches for this Women's World Cup. I wanted to ask you, Emma, the Irish, as we say, travelled so far, across 2 time zones, in fact, by the time they arrived in Perth. What sort of state does that leave your body in?
I mean, it's not good, it's not ideal, is it? I mean, just the fact of just settling in wherever you're going to be. But I think more so for the injured players, because we have injuries in the team, which is detrimental to our starting 11. If you've got an injury and you're going to take a flight, a 5-hour flight, obviously it's going to swell up more. It's going to take you those couple of extra days to get back to where you want, and it's all about getting the swelling down, and of course flights aren't going to help that. So yeah, it's not ideal.
Okay, here we go. There you go. Katie McCabe there, leading her team out today. They're playing Canada. This is also a really important match for Canada. You could maybe say, Annie, there's pressure on them because they are the heavy favourites. They've only picked up 1 point so far.
Yeah, I mean, they come into the game the favourites, but as I said, this is a very, very experienced Canada team. They're winners. They're coming off the back of winning an Olympic gold, so they'll be confident that they can win this game in what is a very, very tough group.
Okay, if Ireland lose this match, they cannot qualify for the knockout stages of the World Cup and their journey will be over. Let's see how this goes. Canada against Ireland. Time to hand over to your commentary team for today, Lucy Ward. But first, Sam Atterpace.
Thanks, Laura. Well, up until last year, Ireland hadn't ever qualified for a major tournament. Now, with just 1 game played, they're in need of a result in order to stay here. Olympic champions Canada are desperate to get back on track after a disappointing opening game, but Ireland cannot afford to let them defeat, and the Irish will be out. Both teams have reputations for great defences, but what both Canada and Ireland really need is to get their attacks firing. They'll be hoping to do that in the Perth rain over the course of the next hour or so. Ireland suffered a setback in the warm-up, losing Heather Payne to a hamstring injury, but experience in Anya Gorman will help them try and keep out Canada, who have struggled in front of goal. We'll find out if that changes after the national anthems.
Please remain standing if you are able for the playing of the national anthem of the Republic of Ireland.
It's a huge game for Ireland. Lose this one and their World Cup could be over, but great emotion on display, Gilly, in that national anthem. This Ireland team are ready to give it their all.
Oh, I love it. I just love it. Just hearing both of them, really, both countries sing like that. The hairs on my arms are standing up. And, yeah, I'm really looking forward to this game. Both teams are going to want to bounce back after their previous games. Obviously, Canada with the draw and Ireland with the loss against Australia, who felt they probably should have got something out of that game too. So, yeah, it's going to be a good game.
Well, Louise Quinn and Heather Payne were the two doubts for Ireland after training yesterday. They both made it onto the team sheet, but Payne forced out of the 11, having pulled up in the warm-up. Anya O'Gorman comes in as a last-minute replacement. Vera Pauw's original change, the one change for tonight's game from that opener against Australia, saw Lucy Quinn come in place of 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰, and Quinn and, well, two Quinns, Lucy Quinn and Louise Quinn, into the Ireland starting team. For Canada, the big question was, would Jessie Fleming play, the Chelsea player? Very important for Canada, scored 2 penalties in the gold medal game at the Tokyo Olympics, having missed the Nigeria game. She is back for this one. It is 8 p.m. local time in Perth in Western Australia. The officials from Argentina and South Africa. Canadians will be enjoying this game over their breakfast cereals. It's 8 a.m. in Ottawa. It is lunchtime in Dublin as Irish eyes turn their attention towards the girls in green to see if this World Cup adventure can continue even further. The Republic of Ireland would be eliminated with a defeat here. Australia will go through if they beat Nigeria tomorrow, and the pressure on Canada here because they play the Australians next. Let's give you a full rundown of the teams. Canada, whose goalkeeper Caelan Sheridan won the Golden Gloves at last year's CONCACAF Championships. It's a back four of Jade Rivera, Kadisha Buchanan of Chelsea, Vanessa Gilles and Ashley Lawrence, another Chelsea player. 3 in the midfield, Jessie Fleming, that Chelsea connection again, Quinn and Julia Grosso. The front 3, Jordan Huitema, Evelyn Villa and Adriana Leon, a Manchester United player who was on loan with Portland Thorns in the USA last season. The Ireland team, Courtney Brosnan of Everton, the goalkeeper. It's a back 5. Anya O'Gorman will play the right wing-back position. Arsenal's Katie McCabe on the left. The 3 central defenders, Niamh Fahey, Louise Quinn and Megan Connolly. In the midfield, much expected of Denise O'Sullivan and Ruesha Littlejohn, who have a lot of ground to cover. Lucy Quinn of Birmingham and Sinead Farrelly of Gotham FC in support of 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰, who leads the line, the main striker up front. Anxious expression on the face of the Ireland coach, Vera Pauw. This is one of those moments where Ireland have got to give it everything.
Yeah, they do. You know, obviously I think in their first game against Australia, you know, they sat in compact. They was hard to break down. But the last 15, 20 minutes or so, you really see him up a gear and really go for it. So it'd be good to see him come into the game like that as well, because they know that they need a result today.
Underway with Canada wearing white and the red shorts, playing from left to right as we look down. Ireland in their traditional green and white. There's only been 1 goal in this group so far. Australia's winning penalty against Ireland. Canada missing a penalty of their own against Nigeria, and this group has really been the tale of 2 penalties so far, as the first Canadian attack down the left-hand side fails to get into the Republic of Ireland penalty area. Denise O'Sullivan is able to clear it away up towards the halfway line. This is Niamh Fahey, right-footed ball back into Canadian territory, and it'll be interesting to see how ambitious the Irish are in the opening stages here. They came on the attack late against Australia, but were very conservative until they went a goal down.
Yeah, and I think you're looking from the initial 50 seconds or so. It's been a bright start, you know, and they're obviously looking to turn Canada early with the ball over the top from Niamh Fahey, but you know, ultimately they've got nothing to lose. You know, they showed promising signs in the Australia in the latter stages. So obviously I think they'll still be reserved, but I think obviously when they do get the ball, they'll look to go as quick as they can.
That's the voice of Gilly Flaherty watching this game of the BBC Radio 5 Sports Extra, the Women's World Cup. Canada 0, Ireland 0 in the very early stages. I like the story of the week, Gilly. I don't know if you heard it about Bev Priestley, the Canada coach, after their opening stalemate against Nigeria. The players were a bit dejected in the dressing room, and apparently she produced a picture of Argentina celebrating their World Cup final win in Qatar, and she reminded them all that Lionel Messi's team did lose their opening game against Saudi Arabia. So World Cups are never decided in the opening match.
No, and she did say obviously as well in the Olympics, when they won the Olympics in Tokyo, the first game they drew that one. So, you know, there's still tournament football. It's not decided on the first game, but they're going to know now they need to pick up points going forward.
Katie McCabe tries to attack down the left-hand side, met with a crunching tackle by 𝓳𝓸𝓷𝓷𝓷𝓰. McCabe, who was named Arsenal's Player of the Year this past season, as they finished third in the WSL and won the League Cup. Probably the most recognisable face of this Ireland team, and will find herself a marked opponent by the Canadians tonight whenever she does try to come forward. McCabe, who was playing left wing-back, but was the only player to produce an attempt on target last Thursday against Australia. Ball is headed forward by Jessie Fleming. Can't pick out a Canadian teammate. Ireland pump it long, and Ciara Caruso's going to put a bit of pressure here on 𝓤𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓷𝓷𝓰 Buchanan, and some cheers from an enthusiastic Irish support, and it does appear there is more green than Canadian red in the stands in Perth watching on. Here come Ireland down the right-hand side. This is Lucy Quinn, has a little look up, delivers a low cross just in front of Caruso. The goalkeeper struggled with it, and eventually it goes out for a corner. That's the most dangerous attack of the game so far. 3 minutes in, 0-0. Ireland with the first big chance.
What an unbelievable ball as well from Lucy Quinn there. She gets the ball, she's down the line, she looks up, she drives with it, and the pass across the box, the cross in, it beats the first near post defender. It's such a dangerous position, but fantastic ball in. Caruso just tries to do enough, can't get it out from under her feet, and obviously the keeper makes a save. But brilliant from Ireland.
Goes down as a double save, a brilliant double save by Caelan Sheridan. Scoreless in Perth, but a lively opening as McCabe places the ball to take the corner. Left-footed player from the right-hand side. This will be an in-swinger. Here it comes. Over the top of the goalkeeper, and it goes into the net! Katie McCabe might have scored directly from the corner kick. Ireland get their first goal of the Women's World Cup, and inside 4 minutes, Canada find themselves behind. It may go down as an own goal by the goalkeeper, but Katie McCabe will claim it for now. Canada 0, Ireland 1.
I'm sitting here smiling, right, because Katie McCabe is so cool about what she just done. She's literally so casual about it. She's just bent the ball in from a corner directly over the keeper's head. Sheridan, she seems like she tries to get her hand to it. She can't do enough about it. It goes, bends all the way through, but unbelievable from Katie McCabe. But she just strolls off like it's just casual for her, like she does it in training every day.
It was a precise delivery. It looped over Caelan Sheridan, who, remember, just before had made an excellent double save. The goalkeeper was seeing the replay. She knew, as her body turned, she knew she was in trouble there, and it couldn't have been hit any better from Katie McCabe. What a start for the Republic of Ireland. Their World Cup is up and running now.
Yeah, it's brilliant. You do seem to wonder though if Sheridan, maybe a punch would have been better. I think she goes with her fingers. Obviously, I'm not a goalkeeper, and I know goalkeepers might get on at me here, but she seems to really stretch. Her body position seems to be completely wrong. She's got her back to the ball, but that's fantastic from Katie McCabe. Pinpoint.
Well, last year, 2022, she was named the goalkeeper of the year in the United States. Caelan Sheridan, a very experienced keeper, but has been caught out there by a quite brilliant delivery from Katie McCabe, who was stepping up to the plate just as the Republic of Ireland needed the most. 5 minutes played in Perth. Canada 0, Republic of Ireland 1. If you're just joining our coverage here on BBC Radio 5 Sports Extra, disappointment for Ireland in the warm-up when Heather Payne was forced to pull out, but Ireland haven't allowed it to affect them, and the pressure is on Canada now. And Canada, who've got to play co-host Australia in their final game, their World Cup is under threat unless they can turn this around. Long way to go, of course, as Caruso manages to hold the ball up inside the centre circle. Ireland playing from right to left as we look down. Louise Quinn, who was one of the injury doubts in the build-up, hooks the ball away, didn't get much strength in the clearance, and it goes straight out of play for a throw-in to the Canadians on the halfway line.
I think what Ireland need to remember, though, is there's a long way to go in this game. So there's sort of that excitement at the moment and a bit of the nervous energy when they're getting the ball, but you've got to take care of the ball still. There's a long time to go.
Ashley Lawrence forward from left back, manages to win a throw-in for Canada about a third of the way into the Republic of Ireland half. Canadians wearing the white shirts, red shorts, white socks, playing from left to right. 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 lumps it forward towards the edge of the Republic of Ireland penalty area. Anya O'Gorman slotting in at right wing back for the injured Heather Payne, stands her ground, and the ball comes away off 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 and out for a goal kick to Ireland. So Katie McCabe's goal, her 19th in international football. She is Ireland's 3rd highest scorer ever in the women's game, and that is such an important goal. The timing of it, the significance, the importance, it is absolutely priceless for Ireland.
Yeah, and you know what, with set pieces as well, they can be huge for Ireland. I mean, you look at that, Katie McCabe's whipped it straight in, but the headers that they've got off the ball, the great headers. You've got 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰, you've got Quinn, you've got Megan Connolly, all great headers of the ball. So set pieces will be crucial for them, but yeah, it's fantastic from Ireland.
The goal came inside the opening 4 minutes. We haven't reached the 8th minute mark yet. Here comes McCabe, number 11 on her back, sprinting over the halfway line, getting to within 5 yards of the penalty area, into the penalty area. Katie McCabe goes down. Ireland wants a penalty. The referee was very close to it. And does she point to the spot? All eyes on the referee, who seemed to indicate, now maybe just indicating a goal kick, but pointed towards that part of the penalty area. I don't think it's going to be a penalty. Of course, VAR will look at this in the background. It wasn't a clear indication from the official, but for now the game continues. Wow.
I thought she was given a penalty, but I think she ended up just giving the goal kick. But I didn't know if Buchanan caught the toes of McCabe there. Obviously, I'm guessing VAR will look at that as well. But yeah, that's a very close call.
So the first few, I thought McCabe, who'd made an incredible run from the halfway line, it was almost she ran out of steam just to the very end of it. Fahy with a header from inside the penalty area to clear it away. But as McCabe went down, the referee seemed to point to the spot. She was pointing to the edge of the 6-yard box. But for a moment, I mean, we had a view of McCabe's face on the screen. She was nearly, what, penalty, really? But of course it wasn't to be. Canada 0, Republic of Ireland 1. Referee from Argentina. Fantastic start for Ireland as they look for their first points of this, their first ever Women's World Cup. Ball cleared away by Vanessa Gilles for Canada. Ireland get it back on the halfway line, and already the outlook, the ambition, the adventurous nature is much more evident from Ireland in this game than the conservative defensive approach they displayed against Australia, particularly in the early stages of that game. Buchanan clears it away. Had the ball gone out for a corner before she did so? Either way, it's going to be Ireland possession, and Ireland throw in down the left-hand side. 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓷𝓷𝓰 Buchanan, cap number 133 for her this evening. She was in the Canada team, the one and only previous time these nations played each other some 9 years ago. Here's Caruso in the penalty area, brings it to the byline on the left-hand side. Buchanan's the defender. Careful not to lunge in too forcefully inside the penalty area. Ireland hold on to possession but come back outside of the box. Fahy's right-footed delivery, flicked on the edge of the box, going to come back down for a shot with the outside of the right boot from 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓰. That is touched in the driving rain, out for an Ireland corner. Ireland are dominating these opening 10 minutes in Perth.
I feel like Canada are still in the dressing room. I feel like they've not even got started. They're slow, so slow to react to the ball. Buchanan there, instead of going out to Farrelly and closing her down, she turns her back to it. It's sort of say, come on Ireland, just have a shot. But yeah, I feel like Canada are shot. They don't know what to expect from Ireland. I don't think they expected this start at all.
Completely dominant start for Ireland, and Vera Pauw will be hoping they take advantage of that by adding to their early lead. McCabe comes to take the corner. She scored directly from the last one of these. That element of surprise, of course, won't be there this time, but interesting to see what Katie McCabe does with this. Raises her left arm as a signal, sends in another in-swinger. Header at the front post by Evelyn Villa. Gives it back out to McCabe, who allows the ball out of play, knowing it'll be a throw into the Republic of Ireland. Right-hand side as they come forward, just a few paces away from the corner kick from where Ireland scored their opening goal. 11 minutes on the clock. Forward on the right-hand side comes Anya O'Gorman, throws it in short towards Sinead Farrelly. Back out to Lucy Quinn. O'Gorman back behind her on the edge of the penalty area. Left-footed delivery, low into the penalty area, cleared away by Vanessa Gilles. No great distance on it. Canada struggling to settle into the game. They've barely strung 2 or 3 passes together in these opening 12 minutes, but they'll get a chance to counter-attack now as a through ball tries to get in her on the back of Louise Quinn, but Courtney Brosnan comes out, sweeper keeper, and to a big Irish cheer, she cannons it into the stands.
Yeah, Courtney Brosnan does really well there to stay alive, but Jessie Fleming, you just expect a little bit better from from her, a bit more tidy, pick the ball up. She's got loads of space in front of her. Drive forward and be positive.
Riviere down the right-hand side. Good ball in front of 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓰 if she gets there first, but it's a slippery pitch. It's slick how the ball ran along and beat her to the byline, and that goes out for a goal kick to the Republic of Ireland to lead Canada by a 1-0 in Perth.
Yeah, so it's just a brilliant start from Ireland. You know, obviously, like I said, I think Canada, they're still in the dressing room. You know, they didn't expect this, but Ireland just need to settle it down a little bit. It's a bit erratic. Settle it down, but Canada need to grow into this game. They need to start getting going.
Ireland too had failed to score in 5 of their last 6 matches coming into this one, including their last 2 in a row, and that will bring much relief as much as anything else to have got the early positive start in Perth, where there's been a wonderful atmosphere right from when the team plane arrived, and greeting of what is a large Irish community in the city anyway, but plus so many supporters who've travelled with this team for this tournament. Ciara Caruso down to the byline on the left-hand side as Ireland continue the early dominance. Farrelly's cross into the penalty area. Dominant header away by Vanessa Gilles, who plays with Angel City in the United States. Anya O'Gorman picks it up still inside the Canadian half, and with the support of 𝓣𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰, they play it off 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷, and that goes out for a throw into Ireland near the halfway line. 13 minutes played, Canada 0, Ireland 1.
Yeah, that was good defending. I think on this, you're looking on the set piece, you know, they're replaying the McCabe goal. It's a fantastic finish. Fantastic finish in right over the goalkeeper's head.
19th goal for her country, for Katie McCabe from Killarnata. Suffered an ankle injury in the warm-up game against France just a couple of weeks ago, and there was great worry in the Republic of Ireland whether she'd be fit and available. Such an important player for club and for country, and Katie McCabe is writing her own script here in Perth with a wonder goal. That will go down as one of the moments of the tournament so far, scoring direct from a corner kick. Throw into Canada, who have yet to get going. Ireland, the lowest ranked European side at these 2023 World Cup finals, but if they can hold on to this lead, if they can win this match, there is still the possibility, not just going through to the knockout stages, but it is still possible that Ireland could win the group, as the ball is cleared away by Megan Connolly up towards McCabe on the halfway line. Tricky ball to deal with, bouncing on the skiddy surface. There's a shoulder charge against Jade Riviere. That's an Arsenal against Chelsea collision there, and the free kick is given to Canada.
Katie McCabe, she's such a wind-up, isn't she, doing that right, barging the defender right in front of the Canada dugout. But yeah, she's an inspiration for Ireland, and she'll be pivotal today in driving them on and getting a result.
This is Ashley Lawrence, vastly experienced player who will be with Chelsea next season, having joined from Paris Saint-Germain last month. Lawrence wearing number 10 but playing at left back. Vanessa Gilles, who was named to the team of the tournament at last year's CONCACAF Championships. A reminder of how good Canada are. This team won gold at the Tokyo Olympics 2 years ago. They have possession with Quinn in the midfield. Right-footed, stabbed ball forward, is far too close to the goalkeeper, and Courtney Brosnan comes out of her 6-yard box, falls on the ground as she claims the ball to her chest.
Yeah, you see Quinn there, dinks the ball into the box. Courtney Brosnan claims it fantastically, and she's going to be crucial today for Ireland as well. A big, brave performance. I played with Courtney at West Ham. No, big, brave goalkeeper, commands her box, and she's going to need to lead from the back today.
Canada throw. Canada trailing Ireland by a 0-0. Quarter of an hour played now in Perth. Jade Riviere of Manchester United gets it back again. Pressure from Sinead Farrelly. Kadisha Buchanan, who's just omnipresent for Canada, played every minute of the last World Cup 4 years ago, every minute of the Olympics win, every minute at last year's CONCACAF Championships, and she brings the ball up to the halfway line wearing the orange boots. Low ball into Quinn in the midfield, straight out to Riviere on the right-hand side, and that's not a good ball forward, straight through to the goalkeeper once again, and the quality of delivery from wide areas from Canada has been disappointing so far.
Yeah, it's the woeful. It's just a waste of a ball. You know, there's not really, obviously Buchanan does well to travel the ball up to the pitch, and Riviere just gets the ball. There's not really any target in the box, and it's just a woeful waste of a waste of a cross, really. But Canada need to do better in those situations. You know, they need to look after the ball and build it up.
This Irish team, who did look confident during the national anthems, looked like they were going to give it everything, and that's how this game has started. And Canada really rocked as a foul on 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 gives a free kick to Ireland. They try to take it quickly up towards Caruso, too quickly because Caruso received it in an offside position, and that's a free kick to Canada. And Ireland just need to take a breath now. It's been a frantic, excellent start, but little moments like that, the game management is going to be very important, holding on to this lead.
Yeah, game management is going to be crucial. You know, you see Kate McCabe, they want to go and get another one, they want to go get a second, but it's just about reading the game, you know, understanding the tempo, the situation, how it feels as well as a player. You had a little turnover, let's get the ball down, let's get it set, and let's get players behind the ball as well and keep the ball.
More misplaced Canadian passes. The North Americans haven't got things going at all yet. 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 flicks the ball in towards Denise O'Sullivan. Nearly gets onto a flick by Ciara Caruso, but Buchanan's back on the edge of her own penalty area, rolls it to Caelan Sheridan, who clears it away with the boot, but gives possession straight back to Ireland and 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷. Denise O'Sullivan battles for it outside of the D. Canada regain possession, and Giulio Grosso of Juventus again. Distribution dreadful, far too far in front of Huitema, and all the way through to Brosnan in the Ireland goal.
I feel like what Canada are looking to do is they're looking to turn the Irish back three especially, hit the ball in the space behind, but the Irish defenders are all recognising that really early, so dropping off, so it's just going through to them.
It was a hot topic in the press conference yesterday. Vera Pauw has been asked by the Irish media would she consider going 4 at the back, given that they, you know, it's a must-win game, they've got to go and get a result, and she said the defenders aren't fast enough, they don't have the pace or flat forward, they need that 3-person defence. And I think the Canadians very much bearing that in mind and trying to get in behind Ireland in this opening 20 minutes in Perth, but not succeeding at all with the quality of passes in behind. Caruso's good endeavour here has won a corner for the Republic of Ireland, again out on that right-hand side from where Katie McCabe scored after just 4 minutes.
Yeah, Ireland are just chasing everything down, and the Canadian defence are very chilled about it, they're very relaxed, and I don't think they're expecting that pressure. They're expecting that they're going to have a lot more time than what they have, and ends up another corner to Ireland.
Tall players are up from the back. Louise Quinn is up there. 15 international goals to her name in the past. Niamh Fahey has come forward, another of the central defenders. It's not McCabe to take it this time. It's a rehearsed move as a low ball is played into the penalty area, back out again. Now McCabe in a wider position, will hook one in. That was a good delivery. Niamh Fahey almost got her head to it, comes down to McCabe again, puts the laces through it, but it comes off the outside of her left boot and it skews away well off the target. It's all Ireland though in terms of pressure. Canada 0, Republic of Ireland 1 in Perth.
Yeah, it seemed to be straight off the training ground. You know, the little short corner played back to Katie McCabe on the edge of the box, who tries to get the ball in. Canadian defence do well to deal with it, but obviously Katie McCabe's there for the follow-up, but just snatches at it a little bit and ends up going straight out.
Potentially another problem here for Canada. Goalkeeper Caelan Sheridan has gone down. She is nursing her left ankle. Call me a cynic, Gilly, but I always feel 20 minutes exactly on the clock, it always seems to be a goalkeeper who goes down, and it does allow this impromptu team talk situation for Bev Priestwood. We see that from a lot of teams, be it the Premier League, Champions League, Women's World Cup. It's become a real tactic, hasn't it?
I think you see this near enough every game now, and obviously it's the goalie who goes down because they can never come off, so they're never going to be a player less. But yeah, I personally don't think there's anything wrong with her ankle. I think it's just tactical, especially with the referee being so close as what she is. But it's a great chance for Bev Priestman to get them in, get them organised. They're rustled, you know, they're all over the place, Canada, so they need it.
And obviously, you know, technically no real advantage because both teams get to do this impromptu team talk, but no doubt that Ireland will just want to keep this relentless pressure going. They won't want any let-ups. And Bev Priestman, they're always calling a timeout, if you like. Surprise, surprise, Caelan Sheridan is fine and is going to be okay to continue. But whatever tactical alterations and switches Priestman has wanted to deliver, that message has now been conveyed. If you're just joining our coverage, it's been a very interesting start to this game at the Perth Rectangular Stadium, previously called the Perth Oval in the past. This by a very large distance, the most westerly of all the venues of this World Cup, and Ireland off to a roaring start with a goal direct from a corner from Arsenal's Katie McCabe inside 4 minutes. Canada yet to settle down. Will they be able to do so now? Vanessa Gilles has possession. Into Quinn, who returns it back to Gilles once again. And now 𝓤𝓤𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 brings it up and over the halfway line on the right-hand side to 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. Short ball to Quinn midway inside Ireland territory. Jessie Fleming, who missed the Nigeria match, lays it back to 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. Fleming, who's not been able to have much impact on this match in the opening quarter that we've had in Perth so far. Good ball forward by 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 this time. However, good defending. Katie McCabe back helping out the defence with an accurate header down to Littlejohn. Ireland give away possession, however. Chance to cross on the right-hand side from Leon, but Leon's cross is poor. Off the outside of her right boot. And a cheer from the Ireland fans as that harmlessly goes wide.
I can see as well, Adrian Leon, she's shaking her head because she knows she should be doing better there. You know, there's no pressure on her really at all. Gets the cross in and it goes straight out of play. But again, I'm not too sure really what Canada's tactics are. You know, you're trying to cross the ball into the box with 2 players in there. They're dominated against the Irish players, but they just need to be a bit more tidier in possession.
Canada 0, Republic of Ireland 1. Ireland 2 lost their opening game against Australia. Now under pressure, Hightomer's shot is saved by Brosnan. 23 minutes played, that is Canada's first attempt. She was well outside the penalty area, but she hit it well. It was on target and powerful. Brosnan makes the save and holds the ball.
That was better though from Canada because they were putting pressure on the Irish defenders. You know, they weren't dropping off and just letting them have it. They was pressing them. And then when you press players and they make mistakes, you've got to capitalise on it.
Brosnan clears it right-footed and away from Lucy Quinn, and it bounces out for a throw into Canada just inside the Republic of Ireland half. That's been the first we've seen of an attacking threat from Canada, the reigning Olympic champions. Bev Priestman will be hoping her team can build on that. Julia Grosso gives it back to Vanessa Gilles. Now 𝓤𝓤𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 up to Quinn, who plays with OL Reign in the USA. 𝓤𝓤𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 once again. Good pressure from Ciara Caruso. Ireland don't want to allow Canada any time on the ball, even right at the very back on the edge of their own penalty area.
No, you don't want Canada to get into the momentum, you know, and to build the play up. But what Ireland are doing is they're dropping off, and as soon as the ball goes out to the fullbacks, they're locking on their press. Getting Canada forcing it, and Ireland are winning the ball.
McCabe's goal separates them. Denise O'Sullivan with a good reverse pass in the midfield to Anya O'Gorman, and then her pass is just too far in front of Lucy Quinn, but nothing fancy in defence from Gilles, who takes no chances and harmlessly rolls it out. Throw into Ireland, attacking position down the right-hand side. Lucy Quinn, number 15, has been very busy so far, the Birmingham winger. This is Denise O'Sullivan controlling the ball 10 yards from the corner flag, outfoxed by Ashley Lawrence. Then a crunching challenge comes in by Lucy Quinn, and the referee says it's a fair challenge. Lawrence is still down on the edge of her own penalty area. Anya O'Gorman's cross on the right-hand side. Buchanan hooks it away. Lawrence still down, lying on her back on the edge of the penalty area. Play continues. Quinn's miscued clearance, and ball back in a more neutral position now. The referee is going to hold up play and come to inspect Ashley Lawrence, who is holding her head. And this will be a little break in play, but Canada continuing to feel the pressure.
Yeah, just looking at Ashley Lawrence on the floor there, it seems to be that she's got something else. She got a side of her forearm, Farrelly's forearm, in the face. I don't think it was intentional at all. I think she's just put her arms up to get herself between the player and the ball. But yeah, obviously it's a sore one for Ashley Lawrence.
Lawrence, who was falling down as she connected with the Irish player. But the referee was very close to it, deemed it not to be a foul at the time. Remember, there is video assistant referee looking at all the replays in the background if there was anything further untoward. But outside the penalty area, it would have to be a red card offence for them to get involved. A breather again, another delay for treatment. Canada 0, Republic of Ireland 1, 25 minutes played now, and Ireland's game plan is working to perfection so far.
Yeah, it is, because they're winning 1-0, but even if you take away the goal, they've been the brighter out of the two teams, you know, and I feel like they've started this game how they ended the game against Australia. And he was a bit unsure how they was going to start this game. But yeah, they've been brilliant. They've been on their front foot. They've been pressing Canada, and like I said, Canada do not know what's hit them.
Well, Ashley Lawrence is still down. She's lying on her back. There are two members of the Canadian medical team bending over and trying to get her back into playing condition. It gives us an opportunity to peruse replays once again of the Katie McCabe goal directly from a corner. Superb delivery, but you mentioned it at the time, Gilly, when the goalkeeper Caelan Sheridan looks it back, she'll be disappointed with her positioning, and as you say, maybe the choice to punch should have been taken.
Yeah, I think also just watching it back then, as Katie McCabe goes to run up, she takes 2 steps forwards, the goalkeeper Sheridan. So then I think she panics and she's trying to backtrack, but she can't get nowhere near it. But like I said, I'll probably have a load of the GK unions getting on at me now for saying a comment about goalkeepers.
But just making sure that Ashley Lawrence isn't dazed, going through head injury protocols down on the pitch. Katie McCabe has called the Ireland players around to give a little impromptu captain's team talk. Jordan Heitema's doing the same thing for the Canadians. Canada, who were very disappointed to draw 0-0 against Nigeria in their opening, but they hope that that was the blip, that was the bad performance out of the way. Difficult to make the case to say that Canada have made any dramatic improvement in the opening almost half hour we've had in this game.
Yeah, I'd say there was no improvement, to be brutally honest with you. I don't think they've really got hold of the ball. I'm not too sure what they want to do when they do get the ball. Like we said, are they targeting over the top of the Irish defence? But the Irish defence know that they're going to do that, so they're dropping off. They're winning the first, they're winning the second balls. So I'm a bit unsure really of what Canada's tactics are at the start of this game.
Play is going to restart with a drop ball. 28 minutes on the clock. Ireland, who've had 4 attempts, 3 of them on target. Canada with just 1 shot that 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 has had to save so far, and that was from outside the penalty area. The Canadians have it with 𝓤𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 Buchanan, 15 yards outside her own penalty area, gives it to 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. Not quite the hard press from Ireland now as they wait for the Canadians to come up to the halfway line. Vanessa Gilles passes to the left-hand side to Ashley Lawrence. Ball forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Evelyn Villa, who's hardly had a sniff so far, tries to get a touch, and then all the way to the byline it goes, and it's shielded out by Nia Fahy. Did she get a touch for a corner? Canadians are going to remain on the attack here. Corner to Canada on the left-hand side. This is the first corner that Canada have had in the match. It's taken them half an hour to get it.
Yeah, and I think Nia Fahy was a bit annoyed then that they weren't to cover from the other defenders around her, but tries to do enough, get her body in the way of the ball, but just takes a little touch of her at the end.
Jessie Fleming has got to take the corner kick. Ireland have brought back everyone to defend it. It's going to be a right-footed delivery. Good trajectory on it. Katie McCabe's header at the front post, clears it back out towards Fleming, who miscues her volley, trying to send it back into the mix. Ashley Lawrence out to Fleming again. There's still plenty players forward for Canada here for the corner. That's a good delivery. This is a big chance, and they put it over the crossbar. Enormous opportunity. Canada should have made it 1-0 as the Ireland defence stepped out. The ball dangerously came back in, right in front of goalkeeper Courtney Brosnan. But when it's set up for Vanessa Gilles, the central defender, who scored 3 international goals in the past, she's hooked it up and over the crossbar when it seemed easier to score.
I can say this comment because I was a centre-back myself, right? But you would probably be wanting anyone else but a centre-back in that position. She does so well to... Buchanan does brilliant to get the flick on. She stays alive in the box, but leaning backwards and it just puts it straight over. But you'd be wanting anyone else there but a centre-back.
Well, that's the biggest scare Ireland have had so far. The defence seemed to all step out. Gilles was onside. There was 2 or 3 Canadians who could have put it in. She made the big lunge and hooked it from, 4 or 5 yards out, up over the crossbar. How costly will that miss prove to be for Bev Priestman's team? Priestman, the 37-year-old Englishwoman who was assistant to Phil Neville when England finished 4th at the last World Cup. She was in charge of Canada for the Olympic gold medal win. Came into this tournament with high expectancy, but Canada now, having drawn their opening game, in danger of losing their second, and the World Cup could be crumbling for the North Americans. 31 minutes played. Yes, it is Canada 0, Republic of Ireland 1, 31 minutes on the clock. Ireland with the perfect start when Arsenal's Katie McCabe scored direct from a corner kick inside 4 minutes, and Ireland have been worth their lead plenty dominance, one big chance for the Canadians. Vanessa Gilles, the central defender, 4 or 5 yards out, hooked it up over the crossbar. That's been the big scare for Courtney Brosnan's goal. But Ireland, who were conservative and defensive in their approach in their opening game against Australia, have been anything but in Perth tonight in Australian time, because they are taking the game to Canada and they lead the North Americans by 1-0 so far. Good turn from Anya O'Gorman. Challenge though inside the Canadian half, and the ball is rolled by Gilles back to the goalkeeper Sheridan, and a right-footed clearance up towards the half-wall, and O'Gorman wins it again. If you're late to our coverage of this game, Anya O'Gorman, a late promotion to the starting 11 after Heather Payne pulled up in the warm-up. Payne, who'd been nursing a tight hamstring, but O'Gorman has come in, lots of experience, and Ireland haven't looked weaker as a result.
No, I think she's done really well, O'Gorman, coming in. She was at fault then for playing Gilles on still, because she was a little bit switched off at the back post, but yeah, I think she's settled in brilliantly.
So Canada trying to establish a position inside the Republic of Ireland half. The possession has been territory-wise in Ireland's favour. Canada, who've had lots of the ball in their own half, but haven't been able to threaten, and Ireland's counter-attacks have been fast and furious, and Katie McCabe launches it left-footed up towards the halfway line once again. Header won by Katie Buchanan. Cross comes Lucy Quinn to try and get a touch. Gilles has given it away here to O'Gorman. O'Gorman's ball not far enough in front of Lucy Quinn to get there, and Ashley Lawrence regains possession for Canada. Lawrence, the left back. Now Buchanan has it in front of her goalkeeper, Caelan Sheridan. Canada look to build from the back once again.
What Ireland have got to be wary of as well is obviously they're trying to press, They're not going to be able to do that for 90 minutes. But when you do have the ball, you need to look after it, because if players are pressing constantly, they're going to fatigue.
Good interception from midfield by Denise O'Sullivan, but her pass goes straight to Quinn. Quinn, who's steadily become more and more important to this Canadian team. 3 substitute appearances at the last World Cup, but featured in all the games that they won the Olympics, and in from the start at both games at this 2023 World Cup now as well, as the ball is cleared away at the back by Megan Connolly for Ireland. Buchanan misses it, but Gilles is floating in behind. And Ireland is definitely, since that most recent injury break in play, Ireland sitting a little bit deeper now as Vera Pauw tries to consolidate what they have. Quinn, centre circle, Canada playing from left to right in the white shirts. Quinn runs into Denise O'Sullivan, lays it back to Ħadisha Buchanan. Low ball across to Jessie Fleming. A little bit of space as Julia Grosso tries to play a through ball. There's a collision of 2 players right beside the referee. Nifahi was the Ireland player. The referee decides they ran into each other. No free kick. Canada still have possession. Quinn inside the Ireland half to Grosso once again, tries to turn away from the busy Denise O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan, who picked up an injury in the warm-up game against Colombia. That's a good through ball. Heitema into the penalty area for Canada. Pulls it back dangerously, but Littlejohn running back into her own penalty area clears it away to the relief of the Ireland supporters. Still Canada 0, Republic of Ireland 1, but Canada are beginning to grow into the game now, Gilly Flaherty.
Yeah, I mean, Canada's getting, obviously, they're on the ball, they're in possession, but they're looking alive, you know, they're looking dangerous. Ireland need to stop dropping.
Quinn's delivery from 10 yards outside the penalty area, headed away by Megan Connolly. Denise O'Sullivan tries to take it with her and nutmeg Quinn, but fails to do so. Just for the benefit of listeners, we've a Quinn in the Canadian team, and we've 2 Quinns in the Irish team, Lucy Quinn and Louise Quinn, which can sound a bit confusing at times, but just to explain that, first yellow card of the game is going to be shown by the Argentinian referee, and it's to the new Chelsea defender Ħadisha Buchanan, who was shown a yellow, much to the cheers of the Irish fans looking on.
Yeah, Buchanan just getting caught on the ball there, taking too many touches. And obviously Carusa just presses her. And for me, if I'm Ireland, I would press Buchanan, because I think she likes to be comfortable on the ball. She doesn't like it when you press her. She doesn't feel comfortable with that. Too many touches, gives away a free kick and gets a yellow card for it.
Ħadisha Buchanan, 3-time Canadian Player of the Year. A world of experience, but sweating there under pressure from Kira Carusa. Free kick to the Republic of Ireland. They've had a few corners. They haven't had a set piece like this in the game so far. It's launched high and hopeful into the penalty area. It comes down for O'Sullivan. Tries the volley. Too many bodies in the way. The ball ricochets back to her. Katie McCabe can't get a shot away either. Ireland have a lot of players up the field here. Canada tried to launch a counter-attack, but Sinead Farrelly wins it back again. This is midway inside Canadian territory. Short into the midfield. Ireland's pressure relentless. O'Sullivan goes for the far top corner, but it sails over the crossbar, and Ireland are playing with a swagger in Perth. We've got 8.5 minutes to go to half-time. Canada 0, Ireland 1.
Yeah, brilliant play from Ireland. You know, winning the first ball, and even if they don't win the first ball, they're there to win the second ball. But I was just watching a little tussle that was going on off the ball between Leon and McCabe. You know, they're giving it a bit of argy-bargy. McCabe throws Leon to the floor. But that's what Canada don't like it. Canada don't like it when Ireland are physical, so now they're going to have to try and match that.
Buchanan over the halfway line to Rivere, who slipped into a challenge and deemed to be fouled by Sinead Flaherty. That's going to be a free kick to Canada, midway inside the Republic of Ireland half. And a chance for the Canadians to get bodies up into the penalty area. It just seemed like she'd lost her balance anyway before the collision from Farrelly, but to be fair, the Irish player was late. There was a reckless nature to it. Free kick to the Canadians as we watch a replay of that Denise O'Sullivan chance. She just wasn't able to keep it down as it sailed over the crossbar. Free kick to Canada. Giulia Grosso of Juventus, who won the Golden Boot at last year's CONCACAF Championship, is standing over it. Courtney Brosnan bellowing the instructions at her defender. It's a million miles out this, but Ireland have still erected a two-girl wall. It's going to be played in by Jessie Fleming, and it's headed by Katie McCabe on the edge of the penalty area. Ashley Lawrence tries to follow up, but was always leaning back as she connected with an almost drop kick, and it sails well high of the target, and it's another chance that goes a-begging for Canada. Gilly Flaherty.
And what I'm noticing there as well with the free kick is Ireland had a high line. You know, they held that line really high, which makes it a lot easier for Courtney Brosnan if she needs to come out and claim it, because there's so much space there. But obviously then it means that Canada are further away from the ball when the delivery does go in, but Ireland deal with it fantastically.
Long way to go. They don't want to count any chickens, but Vera Pauw must be so pleased with how this first half has developed. This is the sort of performance that Ireland, the tournament debuts, would have wanted to put in. It's been full of heart, it's been full of endeavour, and they have settled a much more experienced opponent so far. But can Ireland keep that pressure up? Katie McCabe has a throw in on the halfway line just down below us. Left-hand side as Ireland come forward. Back to Megan Connolly, who plays with Brighton. Her clearance up towards the halfway line is straight to the Canadian Quinn. But once again, Canada's passing isn't crisp enough, and Rivere isn't able to keep it in play. And McCabe, with quick thinking throw, sends it down the line for Caruso to put pressure on Buchanan again. However, there's been too much endeavour there from Caruso. She's fouled Buchanan. Free kick to Canada on the edge of her own penalty area. But the Irish fans in Perth are loving how unsettled the Canadian defenders have been forced, as an umbrella, which I think belongs to a photographer or a camera person behind the goal, was picked up by the wind swirling at Perth and onto the pitch, and Stewart had to run on and take it away again.
Yeah, I think the Irish fans are doing Ireland wonders. You know, they're being their 12th player, but Ireland are pressing and they're winning the ball back. But then that's when you talk about the game management side of it. Kate McCabe then sprints to get the ball, throws the ball down the line to Caruso, but she's nowhere near it. You're just giving the ball away again. Get it set, be comfortable in possession, be comfortable on the ball.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live Sports Extra, the Women's World Cup, live from Perth. Canada 0, Republic of Ireland 1, and Bev Priestman, the English-born Canadian coach, has got a stern expression on her face with half-time approaching, having drawn 0-0 in their opening game against Nigeria. Priestman needs very important words of encouragement for her players, who would appear with this half-time break approaching. Courtney Brosnan, who played every minute of every game in qualifying, the Ireland goalkeeper, clears up to the halfway line. It's fallen nicely for Jessie Fleming here, tries to play it out towards Huitema, and a very important interception by Megan Connolly, because Huitema was unmarked in behind her. This is Katie McCabe, left-footed ball over the halfway line, nicely judged, brilliantly judged. Caruso into the penalty area, shoots on target, saved by Sheridan. The angle was tight in the end, but a wonderful counter-attacking move for Ireland. And as Canada tried to press forward, a reminder for the Canadians that they can't allow Ireland any space in behind.
I'm just sitting here holding my breath because I'm thinking Buchanan is so lucky, because I think if 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 goes down there, Buchanan's off for me, because she's tussling her. She's already on a yellow card. She's caught the wrong side completely. But 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 decides to stand her feet and goes for the shot herself. But if I'm Ireland, I'm playing on Buchanan, like exactly what they're doing there.
Quinn hoists it forward, but again, same old problem for Canada, too much. She's launched it all the way through to the arms of the goalkeeper, and a cheer from the Irish. That was a brilliant ball from Katie McCabe just before, into the path of 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. On a yellow card, Buchanan was petrified there in the penalty area not to make an incorrect lunge, and in the end it was a good save by Sheridan.
And Ireland are doing what Canada wanted to do to Ireland in regards to hitting it behind their back line and worried about their pace. But that ball from Katie McCabe is sublime. It literally beats everybody. It's pinpoint. You know, they're doing what Canada should be doing, but Canada again, they're having all this possession in the back line. It gets into the midfield and they don't know what to do. They're giving it away.
The evening started with the prospect of an Ireland defeat that would end their chances of reaching the knockout stages, but this performance, 42 minutes in Perth, has completely revitalised Ireland's participation in the tournament. If they can keep it up, this story might still have a few more chapters to go. Buchanan for Canada comes over the halfway line. You can sense even more of an urgency now about the Canadians. They would love to get back on level terms by the break. 2.5 minutes of normal time to go until half-time. If this tournament is anything to go by, there could be a good 5-6 minutes of stoppages to be added on before the break. We've had multiple injury delays, particularly for Canadians so far. Denise O'Sullivan rolls it back to Anya O'Gorman, right wing back position. Ireland playing very much with a flat back five at the moment. Lucy Quinn tried to smuggle it back to Anya O'Gorman, felt she was fouled with a challenger behind. Referee says no, throw into Canada near the halfway line, far side of the pitch. Canadians playing left to right, wearing their white shirts, red shorts and white socks. Kadisha Buchanan up to the halfway line, gives it short to Quinn. 91st cap for Quinn tonight. This is Adriana Leon. Blonde hair on the right wing. Number 19 on her back, sends it to Rivera, infield to Quinn again. Not the greatest pass towards the edge of the D. Nifahi tried to pounce out and get a connection. Down goes Lucy Quinn, holding her face, and the referee says she's been caught by a flailing arm. It's a free kick. The foul by Ashley Lawrence, that was the Canadian player who herself received a blow to the face not so long ago. And Lucy Quinn gets back to her feet, nursing her nose. It was collision of the elbow to the face. Free kick to Ireland just outside the penalty area.
Yeah, Lucy Quinn does brilliantly there. She knows the pressure's coming from Ashley Lawrence. She does enough to knock it past her. I've been on the end of that in WSL when I was playing against Lucy Quinn, where I've had a little bit of a tussle with her and she's gone down. But it's clever, it's tactical, but she does well to win Ireland a free kick in that area.
It's been an entertaining game, this, into the final minute of normal time. The early goal from the Republic of Ireland separating the team, scored direct from the corner by Katie McCabe of Arsenal. Jessie Fleming of Chelsea has possession in the midfield for Canada. Buchanan to Rivera on the right-hand side. Puts her studs on the ball, weighs up the options, no clean pass forward. Buchanan returns it back out to Rivera on the right-hand side. Now the ball down the ring to Adriana Leon, who hasn't been able to deliver a single threatening pass so far from that right-hand side. Better ball forward for Quinn with the outside of the boot, but immediately repelled by the Irish defence. Chance of a counter-attack. Littlejohn into the path of Lucy Quinn on the right-hand side. Caruso's shouting for it in the middle. There's further support arriving. Quinn is trying to keep the momentum going, but good defending by Vanessa Gilles, who slides it out for a throw into Ireland, who'll continue to attack down the right-hand side. We are into stoppage time. Just waiting for confirmation of how many minutes are going to be added on here ahead of the break. 5 minutes to be added on. Throw-in taken by Anya O'Gorman. And Ireland looking for a corner, which they get. Corner to Ireland on the right-hand side.
Quinn does really well there because she picks the ball up, she drives, she looks up. There was just Caruso in the box, you know, she's thinking I could whip that back in. I'm probably going to turn over possession to Canada, so I'm going to hold the ball up a bit more and then wins her side later on. A throw-in and then a corner.
30 seconds of the 5 minutes for stoppages have been played. Cheers from the Ireland fans as Katie McCabe comes across to take the corner kick. This is the exact position from where she scored direct from a corner inside 4 minutes of this game. The driving rain in Perth. Spectators covered in plastic mats behind her. McCabe waits to send it in. Ireland players crowding the 6-yard box, right in on top of the toes of the goalkeeper. There's all sorts of jostling for position in there. 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 is trying to stand directly in front of the keeper. Canadian defenders are trying to prevent that. The corner flag bellowing in strong wind as McCabe prepares to send it in. That wind will really usher the ball towards the target here as it comes in high and hopeful. A leap by 𝓣𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓰. It might sit up here from Megan Connolly. Good left-footed ball in, and it's going to be another corner. If it goes out of play, it does. Corner to Ireland, this time on the left-hand side. Buchanan is down. She feels that she was fouled in the melee there, and she's rolling around on the ground inside the penalty area, and there'll be another delay here before this stoppage time corner can be taken. Whenever Ireland come on the attack, it's been frantic in Perth.
Yeah, I think Buchanan there just got one from 𝓣𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰's shot. I think she might be winded there, but again, Ireland are at first to it. First and second phase, they're there picking up the balls. Fantastic strike. Questioning whether they hit Buchanan's arm as well, but yeah, I mean, it's dangerous from Ireland. They look like they want it more. You know, Canada just sitting there. The weather conditions look tough. It probably suits Ireland better than Canada, the weather. But yeah, Ireland are keeping their foot on and keeping the pressure up.
Yes, this is very familiar weather, particularly in the west of Ireland. Driving rain, absolute thunderous wind, flags everywhere bellowing, umbrellas going flying through the air. But the conditions suiting the Irish, these conditions which have dramatically deteriorated as the first half has gone on. Canada at this stage, you'd imagine, Gilly, would just want to get into the changing room and try and settle things down and refocus for the second 45 minutes. How Ireland would love to double their lead, though, in these remaining minutes ahead of the break.
Yeah, I think it will be huge. If Ireland can get a second goal, you know, it probably change the team talks at half-time. But, yeah, I think for me, Canada, I think they just want to get this corner done, get this extra time done, you know, get in, get reset, listen to what Bev Priestman's got to say, you know, get a bit organised and come out for the second half. But, yeah, if they can get a goal now, Ireland, I think it will change their team talk.
Buchanan only now getting back to her feet. It's been a slow recovery. Referee saying she must leave the field of play now, of course, before coming back on again. So as this corner comes in, Canada are going to be down to 10, and without one of their central defenders. Can Ireland turn that to their advantage? We've played 3.5 minutes of stoppages, but in truth, most of that has just been another delay. So quite a bit of a way to go here. As the corner comes in from the right-hand side, good header away by Gilles, and there was pushing in there, and it's going to be a free kick to Canada and a chance for them to relieve their lines. There's probably still the bones of 4 or 5 minutes to go here until the break.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's dangerous for Canada. There was a player down, Buchanan, but yeah, Ireland don't really make much of that. But yeah, they just need to, Canada just need to get in. They need to get in at half-time.
Buchanan comes back on. Canada restored to their full complement of 11. Katie McCabe's goal separating the teams in Perth in Western Australia. Canada 0, Republic of Ireland 1. It's the second game in Group B for each of these sides. Neither with a win yet. Buchanan has a look up from the halfway line, doesn't fancy launching it, gives it short to Vanessa Gilles. Gilles to the left-hand side to the vastly experienced Ashley Lawrence. Lawrence's ball down the left wing will do well to stay in play, but it does stay in. That's worked out well for 𝓣𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. Chance to look up. Jessie Fleming's delivery, very dangerous. It's going to ricochet in. Canada get their equaliser, and it's an own goal off Megan Connolly. Really good low cross from the far side. Connolly at full stretch trying to intercept it, and all she's managed to do is ricochet the ball into her own net. Canada, who've only had one attempt on target up until this moment, get back on level terms ahead of the break. The delivery from 𝓣𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓰, and it goes in off Megan Connolly for an own goal. That's a huge disappointment for the Irish on the cusp of half-time. It's Canada 1, Ireland 1.
It's gutting for Ireland, you know. Obviously, I think for me as a defender, Megan Connolly, she's just gone to stick her leg out. It seems like this band's near enough all the way through. She's gone to clear it. It's a whipped cross in. It takes the smallest of touches off of Connolly into the bottom corner. Brosnan really didn't stand a chance, but that's timing against the run of play. But it's the timing for Canada.
We mentioned the filthy weather conditions, and you know, the rain, the wind howling, and as that low whipped ball came in, Megan Connolly unable to adjust other than to glance and deflect the ball agonisingly for Ireland into the far bottom corner. 1-1 And that feels a huge let-off for a Canadian team who are struggling to create chances in the game. As it stands, a draw might well be enough to keep Republic of Ireland in the tournament going into their final group game, but the whole sense of jeopardy has now been heightened on this an evening which, if Ireland lose, remember, their World Cup is over.
Yeah, and I think you're looking at it, it's tournament football. So if Canada come away from this game with a result, in all fairness, they're probably going to think, well, it doesn't really matter how much we had of a bad first half or a bad game in general, because it's about getting points on the board. But I feel for Ireland because they've dominated this first half. They've had the better chances than Canada, and they deserve to be really going in at half-time with the lead. It's
the first time a Canadian cross is properly threatened, but the Irish defence haven't been able to deal with it, and 1-1 it stands in Perth. It's been a very entertaining game. I mean, you cannot take your eyes or ears off this. Here's Katie McCabe for Ireland. Over the halfway line. Desperate attempts of Adriana Leon to get back and cover. McCabe's made up 45 yards here all the way to the byline, and Buchanan eventually stops her and puts it out for a throw into Ireland in an attacking position.
Yeah, fantastic run from Katie McCabe all the way from her own final third into Canada's area, but yeah, I mean, she tries to whip it in, but Leon does enough to stay with her.
Some engine McCabe, who's now got to try and get back and help out the defence. Leon to Rivera, back into the goalkeeper Sheridan once again. Well, that half-time team talk for Bev Priestman will be altered somewhat with that goal. We've played 7.5 minutes of stoppages now. There was originally supposed to be 5. There still could be another couple yet to go. We've had an injury delay in injury time. Canada 1, Republic of Ireland 1. Chance for Sinead Farrelly to regain possession, but she's out-muscled by Quinn. Ball played forward by Julia Grosso. Bit more swagger and confidence about Canada now, but they're back on level terms. Ashley Lawrence dummies across with her right boot on the left wing. Tries to take on Anya Gorman. Good defending as the ball goes out for a corner. Corner kick to Canada as we enter the 9th minute now of stoppages at the end of this first half in Perth.
You think 9th minute with the stoppages, and that's probably the best bit of play that Canada have done in this first half. That's how long it's taken them to play their best bit of football, but O'Gorman does well there to defend it and get it out for a corner.
Canada hoping their best play is still ahead of them. Republic of Ireland hoping that they haven't had their purple patch now, as the corner is going to be played in from the far side. Jostling for position around the penalty spot, a whole host of players. Out comes Brosnan, beaten in the air, but the header goes wide. It was close. Vanessa Gilles again, the player who hooked it over the crossbar earlier on from close range. This time jumping well, getting a forehead to it, despite the attentions of the goalkeeper. But agonisingly for Canada, it goes wide of the empty net as the referee blows the whistle for the break. And that was simply non-stop, Gilly Flaherty. A 55 minutes in the end. That was end-to-end at times.
I think that's probably been, of the World Cup so far, one of the most exciting games that I've watched. I think you're expecting Canada really to control the game, to dictate the play. Ireland just come out from minute 1. They come out the blocks, they press Canada. Canada looked like they were still in the dressing room. They didn't know what to expect. But it's a fantastic half of football.
Just looking at the stats, I mean, officially Canada only had 1 attempt on target because the goal they did score was an own goal. Ireland 8 attempts, 4 of them on target. Vera Pauw was hoping for a reaction. She's got that, but now they've got to try and do it all again.
Yeah, now you don't want Ireland to drop off. You don't want... Canada probably will go in the more confident at the 2, just if you look at the latter stages then of that half. But Ireland don't need to really change anything. All I would say would be the game management side of it. It's a long 45 minutes. You're talking about extra time as well added on the end. Control the game in the moments that you can. Yeah, go and press Canada, turn Canada, put them under pressure. But when you do have the ball, have a bit of possession as well. Be comfortable on the ball.
Well, we mentioned the weather. The rain is just getting harder and driving down onto the pitch with more and more ferocity. This could well be a factor in what has been a harem-scarum feisty game throughout, and in these conditions I mean, the rain is coming down more than it has done absolutely all evening onto the pitch in Perth. It'll be interesting to see if that affects a game in which Ireland have played a lot of high, long balls in the game. Could these wet conditions cause problems for the Canadian defence the way problems were caused for Megan Connolly scoring the own goal?
Yeah, and also when you With playing rain like that, and the pitch will end up becoming really boggy and really heavy, it's going to affect players' legs as well. You know, especially if you're a defender and you're constantly being turned and running back to your goal, you're not going to want to like it. So you have to make the most of the conditions that you've got.
OK, thanks, Gilly, for now. We'll be back with 𝓤𝓸𝓷𝓷 for coverage of the second half. For now, Canada 1, Republic of Ireland 1. It's been a thriller in Perth. England play Denmark in their next Women's World Cup game. That's in Sydney on Friday at 9:30. It's a game you can listen to Friday morning on 5 Live. A second win would put England on the brink of the last 16 after they edged past Haiti by 1-0 on Saturday. The goal came from a retaken 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 penalty, and Juliette Farrington has been speaking to her.
Everybody underestimated Haiti, and I think in the game itself you realise the quality that the players have and the physicality. You could see how fast they were, how powerful they were, and it's an opposition that we've never really faced before. We've never faced an opposition that has brought that to us. So yeah, it's a first time for us, it's a first time for the fans, and yeah, it was kind of just to relax, like everything's under control. We know what's in-house. I know people weren't so pleased the fact that we didn't score so much, but at the same time we're still creating, and yeah, train every day with these girls and you see the goals that go in the net, and it's only a matter of time until we score from open play.
World Cup openers, they're always difficult, aren't they? Difficult tests, because everybody just wants to get going. Everybody wants to put in that good performance. Did they take you by surprise?
Yeah, absolutely. I think with the first game there's always the nerves. It's the first of a World Cup. I think we started with 5-6 players that have never even played at a World Cup, which is also daunting. And yeah, it's just, you're on camp. I think we've been on camp for 5-6 weeks already, and everything's on that first game. The pressure, the performances. You want to do well. You want to show what you've got. You want to show what we've got as a team. And yeah, there's a lot of individual nerves, which people kind of don't really think about. But yeah, now the first one's over and now it's done, I think we can kind of relax and build momentum from the performance and the good things that we did do at the weekend.
What were your feelings ahead of that game?
Of course you're a little bit apprehensive, because with a team that you've never really faced before, you don't know what to expect. There was a lot of talk of the number 6, who absolutely lived up to expectations, and she had a great game and caused us a lot of problems. But I think in terms of me, it was just trying to continue where I'd left off for the season. After the season, not a lot of people know, but I had a really big operation on my nose, which left me out of action for 2 weeks it was. So obviously building back up was important for me, and just kind of the phases that I went through. And yeah, that was probably the first 90 minutes I'd played in about 2 months.
And perfectly relaxed from the penalty spot.
Yeah, maybe not after the first one.
But you did it again for the second.
Yeah, to be honest, as soon as I hit that, I had to credit the goalkeeper for an unbelievable save, but at the same time I kind of knew something might be a little bit off, just because of how good the save was. And yeah, thankfully she was quite far off the line, and 𝓵 was able to pick up on that, and yeah, I was able to have the composure to put the second one away.
But that's just it, the composure to put the second one away in exactly the same corner.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a mind game, a penalty, and you've got to have the confidence in your own strategy, the process that you go through, where you want to put it. You know your process. You've just got to get the job done, really. And I just knew that if I had enough quality on the ball, if I had enough pace on the ball, that it's going to be even more difficult for the goalkeeper.
What I like most, apart from the result of that match, is the fact that I bumped into your dad outside the stadium. He was going past a pub. There are like loads of your family here as well, all dressed up, going with dressed up in the whole England gear, supporting you and everything else. What was that feeling like to know that they were in the stands?
Yeah, honestly, it means the world. Didn't think anybody was going to be able to get over, obviously because of the distance. It was in school term, and my family are teachers, so yeah, it was a little bit difficult to try and sort things out. And then yeah, as soon as the squad came out, it was a no-brainer that they wanted to get over, and I'm grateful to have about 8 people come in. 8 people will be here for the next game, which is really important to me. Everybody's in their England shirts, Stanway on the back. I'm sure there's some garlands, some bucket hats going on.
They definitely were garlands, bucket hats, Stanway on that. Could not miss them.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. Obviously to have both my mum, my dad, and then obviously the other sides as well. So my mum's partner and my dad's partner as well. So yeah, as much as it's an extended family in moments like this, yeah, they do really come together, and yeah, I'm really proud of my family, and yeah, just the connections and just to have them here is so special.
So they're like just going to follow you around as long as and as far as England progress?
Yeah, definitely. So
Wow.
they just kind of make a holiday of it. My dad and my stepmum are here for the games, and then my mum and my stepdad, they actually stay and travel on after the tournament for a few months as well, so living up retirement.
That's really wholesome. And the one thing I wanted to ask you as well, you and Keira Walsh, I know you're all mates, everybody is mates in this group of players that you have, but your friendship is just pure. It just seems to be wholesome and pure.
Yeah, we just click. We've known each other for a long time, so yeah, we just kind of get each other, and it's funny you say that and relate it to my family, because in the game, or like when we was warming up, obviously you see your families, you give them a wave, and my mum was blowing kisses, and after the game she come up to me and she went, "Oh, just to let you know, them kisses were for Keira, they weren't for you." And then after, they come back to the hotel afterwards and she hugged me and she went, "Where's Keira? Keira said she was coming down." And I was like, "God, Mum, at least nice to see me. You want to see Keira instead?" But no, they've got like a really good relationship, and obviously me and Keira have got a really good relationship as well. We just want to enjoy our time here, make the most of it. We know when to be serious, we know when not to be serious, and I'm sure over the last years we've kind of found a good balance at that.
We had a little peek at the team hotel, which was very nice for us to be invited to have a real look round. How has it changed from 4 years ago in your last World Cup experience?
I think now we're just able to call something home. We're able to make home away from home. I can't necessarily remember the 2019. I think it was all a little bit of a blur because I was so young. But we had a really good base at the Euros, and that was somewhere that we called home, and somewhere where we just really enjoyed to be. So if the game was on, everybody was in the same place watching the game. So like a relaxation room for us is really important. And yeah, the FA and Nike have done unbelievably to create the relaxation room where we are now, and just, yeah, it's a place where everybody can come, you can play video games, you can, yeah, play on like the old school table tennis, darts, there's colouring, there's books, there's headphones, there's, yeah, TVs, sofas, there's everything that you need. That, yeah, we spend most of our afternoons there, to be honest.
What's your favourite part of it? What's your favourite little bit?
Well, I've done a little bit of the colouring wall. Yeah, I was colouring the other day, and Keira come up, started colouring, and she's coloured somebody else's colouring with the wrong colour. So yeah, she dropped the pen and ran away because she didn't want to be the victim of that. But no, and just the normal TV, yeah, literally there most evenings because, yeah, the football's on.
You're not a coffee drinker, are you? And I know there's an impressive coffee machine and you can have photos and everything on your lattes or cappuccinos. The one thing we did notice was a massive bag of Yorkshire tea.
Yeah, do you know what? I'm not a hot drinker, so
wow.
I don't do tea or coffee.
What do you do?
We've got Ribena at the minute, so that's going down a treat. No, I'm not, but there's this like fancy coffee machine where you can like upload your own picture, or you can take a picture on the coffee machine and then it like prints the picture on the top. So yeah, within the first day I think I was making everyone's coffee with a picture of me on the front of it.
What she found you. So you all had to celebrate and drink a little bit of you.
Yeah, a little bit of me and Keira was on the top.
Denmark up next, different proposition to Haiti. Does it become an easier task because you know about them, more of a European game, or is it just going to be just as hard?
I think it'll just be as hard, but it's a opposition that we might be a little bit more clearer on. We might have a little bit more understanding on how they play, how they like to play, their key players, the people that we can kind of target as such, or kind of where we can get our game plan. But yeah, I think there's a real opportunity for us to showcase what we've worked on.
And do you feel, in a sense, that if you got off to the mark well against them, that almost puts you into the knockout stages anyway?
Yeah, definitely. That's always in the mind. Is 2 games and you can be through, and then the third one you can kind of, as much as you want to win it, you can kind of take your foot off the gas a little bit and just relax. So yeah, we want to make sure that we get the job done on Friday.
Yes, it is
I've
Friday.
lost track of the days and the time.
I am as well.
Yeah, we just want to make sure that we're in the best possible place to try and get that job done, and yeah, just have the confidence in ourselves, be confident in the game plan, and yeah, just build momentum off Saturday. No,
Friday.
Sunday. No.
Thursday.
Lost track.
Just build that momentum
Yes.
against Denmark.
Yeah.
Brilliant stuff.
Georgia Stanway speaking with Juliet Ferrington there. Gilly Flaherty's alongside me. We've got second half coverage of Canada against the Republic of Ireland to come from Perth. It's 1-1 at the break. But Gilly, just a word on England who, got the job done in the opening game. Do you think there will be a step on now going into game number 2?
Yeah, I think they have to, because obviously they're facing Denmark, who will obviously be. You'd say it would obviously be a tougher opposition, but I think Haiti were brilliant in their game against England. But what England need to do is they need to make the most of their chances. They are creating a lot, but they're not putting it away. Obviously, the goal was a Georgia Stanway penalty as well, so they haven't scored from open play. I think it's in 4 games now. So, yeah, they're going to need a better performance and to be a lot more clinical against Denmark, who should be a tougher opposition.
So 1-1 in Perth. Republic of Ireland who took the lead after 3 minutes and 37 seconds. Katie McCabe's goal, the fastest of this World Cup so far. It's the joint fastest goal ever conceded at a Women's World Cup by Canada. It was the exact same time that they conceded a goal against Spain in the past. But McCabe, fastest goal at a World Cup since Jill Scott scored after 2 minutes and 10 seconds for England against Norway in the quarterfinals in 2019. Perfect start for Ireland, but it wasn't the perfect end to the first half. Deep into stoppages. Low cross from the left-hand side. Megan Connolly, the defender, diverting it into her own net. It's a moment that has changed the complex of the game, but Ireland have got to continue believing and not let that setback affect their performance. How difficult do you think that'll be, Gilly?
I think it's disappointing them conceding so close to half-time, and I think they all feel that as well. But listen, I think they can take so many positives from this first half. The way they started, the way they pressed Canada, they were on their front foot. They were making Canada make mistakes. They had more chances than what Canada did. They frustrated them. But what I don't want Ireland to do now is sit back, let Canada control the game, control the momentum, because then I think Ireland are going to find it a lot more difficult to then to get out and to get up the pitch.
This is interesting. You can tell that Coach Bev Priestman is not happy with the performance of the team, because there are going to be not 1, not 2, there are going to be 3 Canadian substitutions at half-time. That is as clear an indication, Gilly, as you'll get that the coach wants a completely different performance in this second period.
Yeah, and I think she wants a reaction from them. Obviously they're bringing on Sinclair, who is a huge player for them. And obviously Ireland now will be posed against a different threat with Sinclair and how she plays. But obviously Buchanan's come off. You don't know whether that's just to protect her as well with the yellow card. But yeah, obviously 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰's coming in. She's a fantastic player. Plays obviously at Tottenham. Is their captain. So it's a like for like really in that position. But yeah, I think Bev Priestman wouldn't be happy with how Canada played in that first half, and will be looking for a reaction.
Right, there's an incredible amount of experience has just come onto the pitch. I would wager there can't be many substitutions that have brought on this many caps in one go. Christine Sinclair comes on, 325th cap. Sophie Schmidt comes on, 223rd cap. Shelina Zadorsky comes on, 90th cap. That's incredible for 3 players of that experience all to be brought on in one swoop.
Yeah, it's fantastic, and it's fantastic to have a squad like that, and I think that's what you're looking at in potentially other teams throughout the World Cup. They might have a great 11 or maybe a great 12 or 13, but in regards to their strength and their depth isn't that good. But yeah, for Canada to be able to bring on those sort of players, to sort of win the game from there.
Ireland have made a change as well. Abby Larkin, who was so impressive off the bench against Australia, is on in place of Lucy Quinn. Quinn, who battled hard in that first half, did receive a blow to the face in the closing stages ahead of half-time. So confirmation of the changes for Canada. Kadisha Buchanan, another player who was injured in the closing stages of the first half. She's been the defender replaced by Sheila Zadorsky of Tottenham. It's Zadorsky's first appearance at this World Cup. Into the midfield comes Sophie Schmidt. She's replaced Juventus's Giulia Grosso. And up top, Christine Sinclair, who missed the penalty against Nigeria, that game that finished scoreless. The 40-year-old is brought on in place of Evelyn Villa. So Sinclair, Haitema and Leon leading the attack now for Canada.
You say 40, and I'm sitting here at 31 retired. Like, it's unbelievable to be 40, to be playing, you know, at this level and still contributing so much. But she doesn't look 40, does she? Let's be honest.
It is her 6th World Cup, Canada's all-time record appearance maker. Only USA's Christine Lilly has made more international appearances, male or female. Christine Sinclair, 14-time Canadian Player of the Year, nominated as FIFA's Player of the Year 8 times. Can her experience make the difference to a Canadian lukewarm performance so far, a Canadian performance so grateful of that Irish own goal just before half-time? Reminder of how they line up. Caelan Sheridan is the Canadian goalkeeper. 2 very important saves early in the match, then struggled positionally for the goal from Katie McCabe direct from the corner. Zadorsky has dropped in alongside Vanessa Gilles, who had 2 goal-scoring chances in the first half, with Jade Revere and Ashley Lawrence as the fullbacks. In midfield is now Jessie Fleming of Chelsea, Quinn and Sophie Schmidt of Houston. Schmidt, who's come on, it's her 5th World Cup. And then up top, Jordan Huytema, Christine Sinclair, who we've been discussing, and Adriana Leon, who struggled to deliver from wide areas in the first half. Ireland have got possession. 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 challenged for possession by Leon, but manages to give it out to Katie McCabe on the left-hand side. Ireland playing from left to right as we look down in this second period, wearing the green shirts, white shorts, green socks. Canada in white and red. Courtney Brosnan, who couldn't do much about the goal that Canada scored. It was agonisingly beyond her into the corner, and I'm not sure 2 goalkeepers would have kept it out, as Ireland try to hold on to possession here in a busy midfield, and they do so. Littlejohn out to McCabe again on the left-hand side, up against Revere. McCabe comes infield, forced back inside her own half, swivels around 360 degrees and tries to come into Canadian territory once again, supported by Sinead Farrelly. More urgency about Canada here as they get in the faces of the Irish girls and send them back to the goalkeeper, Brosnan.
Canada are now doing what Ireland were doing to them in the first half. You know, they're pressing high against Ireland. Ireland are not going to like that. They've just turned the ball over there. Fahy looking to play it long, turns the ball over. But that's what Canada need to do. They need to get on their front foot. They need to press from the front.
Remarkably, this is only the 2nd game at this Women's World Cup in which both teams have scored. As a turn from Heiting, edge of the box, great shot, great save. Diving to her left, Courtney Brosnan got both gloves on that. Huytema struck it so well, but the goalkeeper got across to make the save.
You notice as well how important Sinclair is. You know, she comes and drops a little bit deeper. She works closer with the midfield. She's got the ball. She's just played it in left-footed. Candace Striker turns inside, but Brosnan, what a fantastic save. I thought he was bending right into the bottom corner, but a strong palm save away. And yeah, fantastic, keeps Ireland in it.
That was a big scare. That was arguably the best shot that Canada have taken in the game so far. Huytema, who got a bend and a swerve on it, kept it low. That would have nestled inside the post were it not for Courtney Brosnan getting across and pushing it away. Canada 1, Ireland 1, it remains. I was just saying about, you know, both teams scoring in this match. Only the 2nd game of this World Cup that has happened. It's the first time at this tournament that both teams scored in the first half. We've played 5 minutes of the second period, but it looks a much more determined Canada now after coach Bev Priestman made those 3 changes at half-time.
Yeah, you can just see straight away, really, how Canada have started this second half. You know, they're a lot more confident. They seem to be controlling the game, but a lot more as well. They're looking to build it up, link up play, but I mean, I say that, and then they've just sloppily give the ball away and passed it out and play themselves. But yeah, Ireland just need to make sure they're not dropping too deep. You know, don't let Canada grow and get higher up the pitch.
Awkward bounce for Ashley Lawrence there. Ireland take the throw in. Anya Gorman trying to hold on to possession. It's a strong challenge, goes in on Adriana Leon again. The Argentinian referee is close to it and waves play on. Ashley Lawrence in a battle up against Abby Larkin, and the teenager wins possession back briefly because Canada get it through Jessie Fleming. Abby Larkin, who's come on as the half-time substitute, the youngest player in the Ireland squad, the youngest player, male or female, to ever play in a major tournament for Ireland, having turned 18 only in April. Canada try to play it out of the back, and now it's the Irish high press putting them under pressure. Sinead Farrelly doing some excellent work to close things down, and that's drummed up the crowd again. This is a proper heavyweight battle here. 2 teams going at it hammer and tongs.
Yeah, you can hear the crowd. They're going to be the Irish team's 12th player today. They need them, you know, they can hear them because it will really drive you on, especially as the game goes on. you start to get fatigued. You might not have the ball as much, you might not have as much possession, but when you do win the ball, they'll really drive you on and get you higher up the pitch.
Just a bit of words between 𝓳𝓸𝓷𝓷𝓷𝓰 and Katie McCabe. Referee comes across to sort it out, throw into Ireland. Far side of the pitch, Ireland playing left to right as we look down. This is BBC Radio 5 Sports Extra. The Women's World Cup from Western Australia. Canada won, Ireland won in Perth. Canada tried to turn defence into attack. Pass in front of Leon. She's done well to get onto it. Now an acceleration of pace. Tries a shot from a mile out. She 3 players ahead of her. I'm not sure that was the right option. And it's a daisy cutter, easily cut out by Courtney Brosnan.
Yeah, I don't think that was the correct decision at all from Adriana Leon. You know, she picks the ball up, she drives. She's got so much space still to carry on driving. She's got players to her left, players to her right, and just snatches at it.
Canada want to throw in here. It did look like Anya Gorman had brought all of the ball over all of the line, but I think, well, yes, they've changed. Originally was put down as being an Ireland throw. That's now been changed. It is a Canada throw-in, midway into Irish territory. Ashley Lawrence of Chelsea takes the throw. New signing for Chelsea, joining from French club Paris Saint-Germain last month. Possession with Sophie Schmidt, one of the half-time substitutes. Ball into the centre, and it's going to be a goal for Canada. Adriana Leon. She tried from miles out and failed a moment ago, but from a much closer distance, she's prodded it in beyond Courtney Brosnan. And Canada score quick-fire either side of half-time to turn this group game on its head. From 1-0 down, it's now Canada 2, Republic of Ireland 1. It's a 29th international goal for Manchester United's Adriana Leon.
And one thing I will say about Adriana Leon, you know, I played with her at West Ham. She won't stop, she won't give up. Even if she misses a chance, she'll keep going. But the first touch is so crucial because she takes it away from the Irish defender. Katie McCabe's round the back of her. Her first touch, Leon's first touch, brings it the opposite way, and she just puts it into the back. Courtney Brosnan comes out, tries to make herself big, but Dree just continues to fight. It looks like it's a toe poke, to be honest with you, but she's not going to care how they go in as long as they go in.
Katie McCabe made a desperate lunge to try and get there first, but the determination of Adriana Leon saw her nudge it in beyond the goalkeeper Courtney Brosnan. And Republic of Ireland now are facing an exit from the tournament. They would still have the final group game to come against Nigeria, but that would be a dead rubber from an Irish point of view. Lose this match and the dream of progressing in the tournament will be gone tonight in Perth. We've 9 minutes played in the second half. Ireland, who led in control for almost all of the first half until a calamitous own goal just before the break. But it's a new Canada now. New confidence from getting to 1-1. 3 experienced substitutes brought on at half-time, and Ireland are finding themselves treading water as Canada come forward again. Jessie Fleming crosses from the right-hand side. Diving header away by Louise Quinn, and Ireland are hanging on 𝓳𝓸𝓷𝓷𝓷𝓰.
Do you know, I think one of the main changes, the main things that you're seeing from the first half is Sinclair.
Here come the Canadians again. Leon turns well edge of the penalty area, hooks in a shot come cross, which just flashes wide of the post. But if it was all Ireland in the opening quarter of the game, well, it's all Canada now.
Just going back to my point then about Christine Sinclair, what she's doing is she's coming short. So she's coming short to offer, and then what she's doing, 1 touch, 2 touch, she's landing it off to the Canadian midfielders, who are then able to get higher up the pitch as well. She's really bringing it in, and she's connecting more. Canadian front three, midfield, they all look a lot more connected now and less disjointed than they did in the first half.
Adriana Leon back at Manchester United for the coming season after a loan spell with Portland Thorns in the United States, giving Canada the lead for the first time at this World Cup. And the passing is so much better. The weather's improved too. The rain has dramatically eased in Perth. Canada are enjoying that calmer condition as Jordan Huitema tries to turn up against Anya O'Gorman and puts the ball out of play for Republic of Ireland throw. Ireland need a big deep breath. This is Niamh Fahey, just outside the Irish penalty area. Liverpool player into the midfield to 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. Now there's a bit of space for Sinead Farrelly to bring it over the halfway line. She's got Katie McCabe more advanced of her wide on the left-hand side, number 11. McCabe goes infield. 𝓳𝓸𝓷𝓷𝓷𝓰 tracking her all the way. Farrelly has continued to run, though, to pick up a spot level with the edge of the penalty area. Plenty green shirts have moved into advanced positions, but can Ireland get it in there? Littlejohn's been held up in a heavy traffic, and Canada clear it out for a throw.
Well, I feel like now, though, because Canada are sort of matching, Ireland with that press when they're on the ball, it seems like Irish players are going missing a little bit. They're not being brave to get on the ball. For me, they're just passionate to play. Then Denise O'Sullivan, you need to be brave. Ireland need you to come and get into this game. Come and be brave. Come and look for the ball. But Irish players, they can't go missing now. This is going to be difficult, but you cannot go missing.
Ireland too had the lead in the game so far in this tournament. Throughout the whole World Cup so far, only one team have had the lead in a match and not gone on to win, and that was South Africa, who scored first against Sweden but lost that game 2-1. And that's the pattern in Perth. Ireland, who had the early lead, but now trail Canada by 2-1. Canada hoping that this proves to be the lift-off moment of their tournament after drawing with Nigeria in the opening game last Friday. Sheridan, the Canadian goalkeeper wearing all yellow, pumps it up over the halfway line. Header won by Megan Connolly. Connolly, who scored the own goal ahead of half-time. It's the fourth own goal of this World Cup overall. And that goes out for a throw into Canada near the halfway line, and there's going to be a change, I think. Referee is just asking the players to hold up on taking the throw. And 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰, who came on in the first game, is going to replace Anya O'Gorman. O'Gorman, who never expected to play the full 90 minutes here, originally named as a substitute, promoted into the starting 11 after the injury to Heather Payne in the warm-up. Now Shiva comes on to replace O'Gorman on the right-hand side of the Irish defence. She's more attacking player, Shiva, and she'll look to turn a right-wing position into more of a wing. Leon, the scorer of the goal that has given Canada the lead, is going to be replaced too. She scored that goal only 5 minutes ago, but off she goes and replaced by Chloe Lacasse. Lacasse, one of the Arsenal players who was named in the player of the season in Portugal last season with Benfica before making the move to North London. 2-1 Canada lead. Both teams now have made their changes. Let's see how the game settles down. Connolly comes back as Sinclair claims that she was fouled as she tried to run through. Canada, the pressure, the intent, the intensity has been dramatically improved from the first half, and much of that is, as Gilly has mentioned, to do with the introduction of the vastly experienced Christian Sinclair, who's just given a bit of teeth to the Canadian attack.
Yeah, I mean, to be able to have a player like that come off the bench, and I said it will pose something different for the Irish defenders as well. It would be a different threat. I am surprised really that with Leon coming off, because I think at the moment she was in full flow. She was giving a lot to Canada. She was playing a major part in their attack. So for me, I'm not too sure. I think she might have come off a little bit too early, in my own opinion.
Free kick to Canada. Foul on the tall Jordan Heitema by Denise O'Sullivan. And then it's going to be a free kick to the Canadians. 2-1 in front as we approach the hour mark. 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰, who's come on for Ireland, was not involved at all in the qualifiers. She hadn't played a competitive game for Ireland before this World Cup. Can she just liven things up a little bit? The player born in Pennsylvania in the United States, who qualifies for Ireland via her grandparents. Canadian free kick is played in by Fleming. Good defending by Louise Quinn to get her head on it. Ireland haven't fully cleared away yet, though. The Canadian Quinn has it. 12 yards or so outside the Irish penalty area. Sinclair will try to cross on the right-hand side. It deflects away off the defender, Megan Connolly. And the last touch, I think, came off Sinclair there, who thought... Oh, sorry, it's not Sinclair, it's Gilles. Gilles has thrown the ball away. That's silly. And a completely needless yellow card now for the Canadian central defender.
I can say this because I'm sitting here, but that is just a silly yellow card to get. And I know I've been there in my career where I've got yellow cards for that. And now I'm watching, I'm thinking, what are you doing? But yeah, especially in tournament football, like, there's no need for it. Just drop the ball. You don't need to throw it away and earn a silly yellow card.
It's the second yellow card of the game. They've both been for Canadian central defenders. The first for Buchanan, who was taken off at half-time. But Vanessa Gilles has got to be careful now. For the remainder of this match, she's on a yellow. Throw in to Canada, who've been dramatically improved in this second half. 61 minutes on the clock. Revere has come forward to take the throw in. The Manchester United player in the 39th cap. Good distance on the throw into a busy penalty area. Sinclair tried to flick it on, but Louise Quinn, well positioned behind, boots it out for another Canadian throw.
Yeah, Ireland just need to deal with this pressure. You know, a game is all about momentum, you know, and at the moment Canada have had it really since the start of the second half, but you just need to stay switched on, defend well first and second phase, you know, and get yourselves up the pitch.
Revere wipes the ball on the inside of her shirt, takes as long a run up as the advertising hoardings allow, sends it into the penalty area. Quinn again wins the header, gets it to the edge of the box, and then Ireland further clear away. But Ashley Lawrence for Canada tries to send it back into the mix. Megan Connolly wasn't able to clear. It's been picked up by Jessie Fleming. The whole body language and comfort of the Canadians is so evident now. As a lovely chance for Sinclair, left-footed shot straight at the goalkeeper. Brosnan makes the save. Sinclair will be disappointed. She didn't put it either side of the goalkeeper from 10 yards out.
Yeah, it was great play from Canada, you know, but you'd expect a bit better from Sinclair there. You know, it just seemed to sort of be a bit half-hearted, more like a pass back really to Brosnan, not with any real conviction, but a dangerous position to be in, and one that you would be wanting to fall to Sinclair, but needs to make better of it.
That is a big let-off for Ireland. Will Canada rue not making it 3-1 there? Heitema tries to come forward on the left, but the ball had gone out of play. Throw in to the Republic of Ireland, and 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 who takes it quickly. Ireland trying to regain the urgency that they deployed to such good effect in the first half. It's played towards 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰, we've already mentioned her name in the second half. Ireland haven't been able to get it forward to the central striker. There's all sorts of movement down in the Irish technical area. You'd imagine further Republic of Ireland substitutes are about to be made. Still 27 minutes plus the stoppages to go in Perth. Canada 2, Republic of Ireland 1, BBC Radio 5 Sports Extra, the Women's World Cup. Second game of the group for both of these teams. If Ireland lose, they're out effectively. They would have one more game to play, but it wouldn't matter. Here is Denise O'Sullivan, strong challenge on the edge of the penalty area. There was no margin for error there. That was Vanessa Shield, who was on a yellow card. She slid through, but she did win the ball cleanly and denied Denise O'Sullivan a shooting chance. Here's McCabe, down the left-hand side, good cross in. Caruso's header goes over the top. Ireland's best chance of the second half, and that might well give Vera Pauw's team a second breath here. Caruso's first impact since the break after more brilliant play from McCabe.
You think it's probably the first time that Ireland have been in the box in the second half, but fantastic ball in. Sheridan, the keeper, comes flying out. He's nowhere near the ball at all, but Caruso seems to be up too early and it just goes straight over the bar. But it's promising from Ireland. They need to get back into the second half.
Kyra Caruso with 2 international goals to her name in the past. Just couldn't get above that to propel it downwards. Let off at both ends in the past few minutes. Christine Sinclair playing it straight at Courtney Brosnan for Canada. And Kyra Caruso heading over the crossbar down the other end for the Republic of Ireland. Right, there was a triple change at halftime from the Canadians, and now there's going to be a triple change for the Republic of Ireland, and on comes Amber Barrett for her first appearance of this World Cup. Barrett, who famously scored the goal against Scotland in the playoff back in the autumn that secured Ireland's place at this tournament. So Amber Barrett comes on to lead the line. She's taken the place of Caruso, who could have grabbed the headlines but missed that chance a moment ago. That proved to be her last touch. Izzy Atkinson of West Ham has come on as well. She'll take the place of Farrelly. Farrelly, who ran her socks off. A really good performance from Farrelly. And the other change, Lily Agg. Agg has come on in the centre of the midfield in place of Littlejohn. Vera Pauw going for it, Gilly.
Well, she's got to. You know, you look at it, she has to go for it now. You see promising sparks from Ireland in the first half. They just need to try and get back to how they played them, but you've got nothing to lose. You might as well go for it.
So Ireland now with Denise O'Sullivan alongside Lily Agg in the middle of the midfield. Izzy Atkinson and Abby Larkin supporting Amber Barrett up front. Barrett, who rarely starts for Vera Pauw, but she's a finisher. Can she prove to be an impact player in this game with 25 minutes to go? Ireland need a goal or their World Cup is effectively over. Atkinson back helping out McCabe in the left-back position. I think the introduction of Atkinson will allow McCabe to push forward. Looks like Atkinson's going to sit more as a left-back and allow McCabe move up into the midfield, and that might prove creatively beneficial for Ireland. Here is Lily Agg, first touch of the ball for her since coming on in the middle. Tries to play it forward, but cut out by Quinn, Canada's number 5. Here come the Canadians down the left-hand side with 𝓳𝓸𝓷𝓷𝓷𝓰. Lovely little manoeuvre to get around the first challenge. And then, after getting around Abby Larkin, her attempt of a cross comes back to her. Heitema continues to hold on to possession on the left-hand side, but couldn't deliver it in. Ashley Lawrence will deliver it in. Another big chance for Sinclair. And once again, she fluffs her lines. A grimace and a baring of teeth from Christine Sinclair. That's 2 sitters she's missed now, in addition to the penalty that was saved against Nigeria. And Canada's record goal scorer can't believe that she hasn't scored in a 6th World Cup.
You see Louise Quinn, she blows out her cheeks as in to go, wow, we've got away with another one there. But yeah, Connolly has a little flick, and obviously then Sinclair scuffs it.
And here in Perth, Canada leading Republic of Ireland by 2-1. Ireland, who led after just 4 minutes, scoring directly from a corner, was Katie McCabe. But Canada benefited from an own goal from Megan Connolly just before the break. And into the second period, Leon of Manchester United was able to make it 2-1. Ireland must go for it now. If they lose this game, their chances of reaching the knockout stages will be over. A quarter of the game to go. Canada 2, Republic of Ireland 1 in Perth. And this is Riviere down the right-hand side, pushing the ball in front of 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰, one of the substitutes. That's a great ball, hung in, and the header by Heitema, saved by Courtney Brosnan. Again, it was straight at her. Canada threatening for that 3rd goal.
I think you just tell with Ireland, they look tired. You know, obviously there you're having the chance with Sinclair, then the chance again for Canada. It just seems that Ireland are getting a lot deeper. They're just sort of allowing Canada just to come onto them, but they need to stay switched on. They can still get back into this game.
Some Irish pressure forces a Canadian mistake. Riviere wasn't able to keep the ball in play. Quick throw in, cut out by Gilles. Will she keep it in play by the corner flag? No. And it goes out for, I think it went out on the throw-in side of the corner flag for an Ireland throw right down the left wing attacking position. But time now beginning to run out for Vera Pauw's team. Beaten by the co-host Australia by a penalty in their opening game. They led Canada here, but now trail 2-1. Ireland need something desperately. Atkinson takes the throw in to Denise O'Sullivan, whose first touch is heavy. This is Niamh Fahey, 20 yards inside the Canada half, looks up for options and sees that Shiva's got a bit of room on the right-hand side. Ashley Lawrence comes to try and close it out. Great ball in from Shiva into the penalty area, but Amber Barrett can't control. It flashes in front of her, the number 9, and into the arms of the goalkeeper, Caelan Sheridan. Better from Ireland, though.
Yeah, much better from Ireland. Obviously, Shiva puts the ball in. I'm not too sure if Barrett knew really where she was in regards to the goal, but if she could have just tried to hold it up a little bit, but obviously just skims off her, which has probably not helped with the weather either on the pitch.
Canada 2, Republic of Ireland 1. The Olympic champions turning a 1-goal deficit around to lead in Perth. Throw in for Shiva. Picks out Denise O'Sullivan, who's out-muscled by Jessie Fleming, but Ireland are hungry and they win it back again. Lily Agg's ball over to the left wing, finds Izzy Atkinson. Atkinson tries to play it forward for Katie McCabe, and the ball goes out of play, and Atkinson, who's trying to make an impact on this, her 8th cap, having come on as a second-half substitute. Canada regained possession. Quinn up towards the 325 cap Christine Sinclair. Sinclair could really have put this game to bed with the chances she's had since coming on at half-time. That's very well worked. Lovely movement. Chance to attack down the right-hand side now. This is dangerous. 𝓳𝓸𝓷𝓷𝓷𝓰 into the penalty area for Canada. Out comes Louise Quinn to try and hold her up. The Canadian Quinn rolls it to Ashley Lawrence on the left-hand side. Left-footed ball, hangs into the penalty area, header across the face of goal and wide. 𝓳𝓸𝓷𝓷𝓷𝓰. Canada continue their threat.
Ireland are holding on by the skin of their teeth. You know, Ashley Lawrence now has put in a couple of great balls with her left foot, whips it in. Ireland don't seem to have any clue at all where the Canadian players are. There's zero marking really. Izzy Atkinson's obviously just come on, but you need to get in, you need to be picking up, you need to be goal side.
Here come Ireland again. The teenager, Abby Larkin, running from the halfway line, deep into Canadian territory. Tried to flick it on for Marisa Shiva, but that is good defending by Sophie Schmidt. And then Quinn firm into a challenge, too firm for the referee's liking. Quinn adjudged to have fouled Abby Larkin. Free kick to the Republic of Ireland inside Canadian territory.
Abby Larkin does really well there. She tries to play the ball down the line. There was no runner there at all. She's holding on to it, and she wins, obviously, Ireland a fantastic free kick in a dangerous position too.
Free kick is going to be taken by Megan Connolly. Connolly was unfortunate to divert the ball into her own net for the equaliser late in the first half. It's played short, the free kick to Katie McCabe. She launches into the penalty area. Headed down for Izzy Atkinson. Cross from the left-hand side is straight to Quinn, who was guarding the front post, and this is the danger for Ireland now. They might be caught on the counter-attack. 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 comes up to the halfway line. Green shirts desperately trying to get back. 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 sprints in ahead of 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 and rescues the moment for the Republic of Ireland with a calming back pass to Courtney Brosnan. Into the final 20 minutes of normal time now in Perth, and Ireland need a goal, trailing Canada 2-1.
I also wonder as well, you say about Ireland need a goal, I wonder if Canada need another goal as well, because I fear that the amount of chances that they've missed, Ireland are on the attack again. If they get one, it goes back to a draw.
Such has been the attacking nature of the game. Canada have had 13 attempts now. Ireland have had 9 in total. It feels like there's more goals in this game. Will it be a lengthening of the lead by Canada, or can Ireland get things back on level terms and keep their tournament alive? A pass played by Abby Larkin takes a touch of Ashley Lawrence and goes out for a throw into Ireland on the right-hand side. No time to waste. Larkin takes it, Shiva takes it quickly, but too quickly for the referee's liking. Have they given that as a foul throw? That's confusing. I'm not quite sure what's happened there, but it's now a throw into the Canadians. Maybe a lift leg from Shiva. She took the throw. I'm not quite sure what's happened there. Ashley Lawrence with the throw in for Canada. Doesn't hold on to possession though. Lily Agg gets it on again. Agg has given a little bit of an anchor to the Ireland midfield since coming on. Atkinson up from the left-hand side. Good work by Chloe Lacasse. Lacasse wins possession back for Canada, and that takes a little bit of fizz out of the bottle from a Republic of Ireland point of view. Sophie Schmidt, who scored against Ireland the only previous time these nations met, that was 9 years ago in the Cyprus Cup, a game that Canada won 2-1, just as the scoreboard is here. Schmidt has it again, 35 years of age now, 223 caps. Canada, good game management here as they settle everything down. They played around the back four and they begin to frustrate the Republic of Ireland.
You can hear Katie McCabe as well. She's screaming at the players behind her, say, get up, step up the pitch. You know, you're too far away. We need to be closer together.
This is Denise O'Sullivan in the midfield, rides a challenge of Jessie Fleming, stabs it forward with the outside of her left boot to Katie McCabe. Atkinson now on the left, neat triangular passing from Ireland. O'Sullivan shimmies one way and skips back the other, finds Atkinson, who tries to cross it in. The cross comes off 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰, and it's a throw into the Republic of Ireland, level with the edge of the penalty area that they attack down the left-hand side. Atkinson of West Ham takes the throw into McCabe, tries a burst. Good work though from Sinclair, I should say, back helping out the defence for Canada, but they haven't been able to clear it away. Picked up by O'Sullivan once again. 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 fancies a shot from miles out, never convincingly caught hold of it, and it was always a way off target. But they have to be brave, Ireland. They've got to take on chances like that. It's a goal kick to Canada, who lead 2-1.
Yeah, I think just watching that back now, Niamh takes her with her right foot, takes her first touch back across towards her left foot, and it stops her from being able to open up, really. So the only thing she has really then to do is have a shot, but I think she'll know in herself that weren't the best decision or the right decision to do. She's
not the most natural goal scorer, 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. This is her 110th cap. She's only ever scored one international goal. That came against Georgia just over a year ago. But desperate times lead to desperate measures, and you can see why she was tempted to take on the shot. Now a delay in play. Jordan Huitema, the Canadian forward, is down injured, jumping in the air and falling awkwardly as much as anything. It might have been a nudge from 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓰. The way she fell down to the ground, she might have jarred her back. Jordan Huitema receiving some treatment. The clock beginning to tick on in Canada's favour now. The Republic of Ireland are into the final quarter of an hour. Both sets of players have come over. What do you reckon, Gilly, that Vera Pauw will be saying to her players in this impromptu team talk?
I think just by watching what she's doing with her arms and that, she's trying to get them a lot closer together, a lot more compact, and that's what you're saying, Katie McCabe, screaming. If you're going to go and press and continue to press, then the back line, the midfield has to get up with you as well, because if you don't go with them, what Canada are doing, they're just picking the ball up in the spaces. They're then turning, they've broke the press. So if Ireland are going to go for it, and like they've got to go for it, otherwise they're out, you need to, if you're going to press, you all need to go together. You need to be compact. You need to make it hard for Canada to break you down.
Canada 2, Republic of Ireland 1. Irish fans singing the fields of 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 in Perth in Western Australia. But having lost to the co-hosts in the opening game, Ireland cannot afford another defeat here. These really are desperate times for Vera Pauw's team, who've come so brave tonight in taking the game to their more experienced Canadian opponents, but Canada have ridden the storm and now they look the most threatening. 𝓣𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 down the right-hand side, taking on Izzy Atkinson, gets to the byline on the right-hand side, looks up for some support and finds it from Quinn, whose influence in the game has become so much more apparent in this second period. All of the Canada team have played better since the break. Again, 𝓤𝓚, who had that headed chance a few minutes ago, put wide, delivers in a cross. Tried to, controlling it was 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. It's picked up on the ground and rolled backwards by a chance for 𝓤𝓚. 𝓤𝓚 to the byline, runs into trouble in the shape of Megan Connolly, but Ireland really are hanging on here as they clear the ball away, and another wave of Canadian attack comes at them once again. 13 minutes now to go. Canada have possession. Sinclair lofts it forward. Schmidt had made a run for the first time into the penalty area, but the pass doesn't come through. Ireland pick it up. Now can they get it down the other end? Denise O'Sullivan to Abby Larkin, still 10 yards inside her own half on the right wing, and a well-timed sliding challenge comes across, and the ball goes out of play for an Ireland throw.
Canada have been like a complete different team in this second half. You know, they've controlled the play, they've dictated the play, they're looking for a third. They could have had probably another two at least. 2 more goals as well, but Ireland just need to stay in it. When they got the ball, they just need to look after it.
Ireland only had 1 attempt on target in the opening match against Australia. They've had 4 attempts on target tonight. 1 of them scored by the girl in possession at the moment, Katie McCabe, veering in off the wing on the right-hand side. McCabe to his shooting position, shoots, but it's blocked by the defender in front of the goalkeeper, out for a corner. That was almost a wonderful individual goal by Katie McCabe, who's trying to take this game by the scruff of the neck.
You do wonder as well, when Kate McCabe is running down the right-hand side, you think, she's on her right foot, what's she going to do? But she cuts inside with her left, beats 2 defenders, takes another touch, and you've seen her do it for Arsenal this year, where she's took the touch and she's had a strike and hit the top corner. Just the Canada defender gets over and blocks it for a corner.
McCabe trying to produce some heroics here. Ireland desperately need them. Just over 11 minutes of normal time to play. Irish corner, hooked in by McCabe, punched out by the goalkeeper. Called for by 𝓤𝓚𝓲𝓷𝓷𝓷𝓰 down there, who turns and looks up to see what's ahead. This is Shiva out into space for Atkinson on the left-hand side. Ireland player still up for the corner, but Atkinson can't deliver it in. 𝓣𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 made up a lot of ground to get over there and block the attempted cross. There's a real sense of desperation about Ireland now as it's launched forward again. Schmidt with a header down. Canada clear it away, and it's out for an Ireland throw, and we're about to move into the last 10 minutes. Gilly Flaherty.
It was a waste there as well. It comes out on the edge of the D, the centre circle with Shiva. Just put the ball back in the box. You've got 3 of your biggest centre-backs up there ready to attack it. Just put the ball back in.
Ireland were the better team in the first half, but Canada have really shown their quality in the second period. Amber Barrett down the left wing runs the ball out of play, shake of her head, but the decision has gone against her, and possession returns to the Canadians, who are on the verge of getting their tournament back on track. Ireland feel it should be a throw-in. Canada are trying to take a free kick, and that's what it's going to be. No urgency, of course, for the Canadians, who are happy to run the clock down. 𝓣𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 of Tottenham, making her first appearance in the World Cup, now leaves it for the goalkeeper Sheridan. Boos from the Irish supporters, who feel this is all tactical to eat into the clock. 𝓤𝓚𝓲𝓷𝓷𝓷𝓰 gets it back for Ireland, rolls it to Brosnan, the goalkeeper wearing blue, and Ireland prepared to build from deep as Marisa Shiva gets it on the right-hand side. Low ball up to the halfway line. Received by Abby Larkin, but under immense pressure from Ashley Lawrence. She's run out of play, and it's a throw into the Canadians near the halfway line.
I think you're seeing that from Ireland. You know, they've got the urgency. They're trying to get the ball as quick as they can up the pitch, but Canada doing really well to deal with it, and ultimately they're in control.
Canada, who play Australia in their final group game on Friday in Melbourne. If they can hold on for the win here, they will go into that in good stead to potentially even win the group after their slow start against Nigeria. For Ireland, their final group against the Africans in Brisbane on Monday, and if they don't score here, in the next 10 minutes plus stoppage time, well then no matter what Ireland do against Nigeria, it won't be enough to get into the knockout stages. The World Cup competitively would be over. Here comes Katie McCabe, who's not going to give up until the very, very end. Hustling with Quinn, getting the better of Quinn. That's brilliant from Katie McCabe. Now 10 yards from the penalty area. Let's fly with a shot, but got underneath it, and it blazes over the crossbar. Well, if one woman can drag Ireland into this, it's going to be Katie McCabe, who's giving everything down there.
And it's no disrespect to any of the other Irish players, but you'd be wanting 11 Katie McCabes, you know, maybe not in goal, but you'd be wanting them outfield. She's driving that team. Players are giving loose pass away. She's there. She's winning the ball back. She's driving the team on. All right, she snatches at it and hits it over the bar, but she's got the effort, she's got the fight, and she needs more from the players around her.
Katie McCabe on her 75th cap for the Republic of Ireland is putting in a storming performance, but will it be enough to carry the team into their final group game? Canada 2, Republic of Ireland 1. We're into the 83rd minute. Perth, Western Australia, big Irish crowd hoping for a miracle or a heroine to step forward now. This is 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰, the 35-year-old. Right-footed, tired pass there, straight to 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰, puts Ireland in trouble. It forces a rush challenge. Lily Agg gives away a free kick, and after the poor pass from Fahy, Agg had little choice there. Free kick to Canada just outside the Ireland penalty area.
I think that's where you're seeing the fatigue really set in. You know, 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰, she's not got a player around her. And a simple 5-yard pass goes completely to the opposition, but under no pressure as well. But that's what you get, I think, with the weather, the pitch, and obviously they've given so much in this game.
Canada take their time. Jessie Fleming restored to the team and proving her worth in this second half performance in Perth. Courtney Brosnan is managing the wall, making sure all the angles are covered. Fleming in these circumstances might fancy a crack here. It is a full 10 yards outside the penalty area, but a third goal would surely crush Ireland's spirit. Schmidt is standing over it too. Canada do have options. Ireland are holding a high line. It's played in by Fleming. It's not a shot, it's a cross. Fahy, whose weak pass gave away that free kick, made good amends to help to clear it away. Canada regained possession, but they're back inside their own half now as Rivera rolls it to the goalkeeper, Sheridan. Long right-footed clearance into the Irish half. 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 heads it to the halfway line. Shiva battling for it, gets a touch, but it's too heavy for Agg. This is frustrating for Ireland, who are giving it everything. They're trying so hard, but they need something to fall their way. 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 for Canada, wide on the left wing. Will try to hold on to it here and just take a bit of the sting out of play. Did that go out of play as Fleming turned? All of the ball was not over all of the line. Play on for now. Canada have possession. Ashley Lawrence, infield to Quinn. Quinn, who receives another snap at her ankles from Katie McCabe, who's chasing down everything now. She's playing left wing, right wing, centre of the midfield. And Katie McCabe trying to settle the Canadians. The ball goes out of play. It will be a Canada throw-in. And we've just over 5 minutes of normal time to play. Canada 2, Republic of Ireland 1 in Perth.
You're looking at Katie McCabe. I reckon she's covered every blade of grass out there on that pitch tonight. You know, and obviously you see Louise Quinn now. She's gone up top as well. So Ireland really need to get the ball long.
Approaching 10 p.m. local time in Perth. 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 for Canada into the penalty area. Shiva stretches out a leg. It would have gone for a corner. 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 tried to keep it in play. That wasn't a clever idea because Shiva got it back off her and the Republic of Ireland cleared it away. And then was that a clash of heads near the halfway line. There were two players down. Louise Quinn is the Irish player. And there was immediate concern by some teammates who came running over there. Sophie Schmidt and Louise Quinn jumping in the air, both falling awkwardly. Schmidt was back up to her feet quicker. I don't think there was any intent or malice from either player there, just two players jumping for the ball. Maybe a leading arm from Schmidt is what is. It wasn't actually a clash of heads, it was an arm into the head, but don't think there was an arm raised there as such from Schmidt, just two players colliding in the air. And
Louise Quinn there with a black eye as well. She puts her head everywhere, you know, she's such a brave, but again, she's gone as a centre forward. Ireland need to work to that now. You need to get the ball up, you need to hit the ball into the box. You've got a few minutes left, you know, you need to make the most of it.
Yeah, Quinn, the tallest outfield player in the Irish team, has gone up to play from centre half to centre forward. Well, they might as well throw the kitchen sink at it now. Just over 4 minutes of normal time to play. There will be stoppages, and throughout the tournament those stoppages have tended to be considerable. More pressure from McCabe. haunting Rivera, the Canadian right back, who'll be delighted that she won't have to face Katie McCabe in every game of this tournament because she's not been able to settle at all. Schmidt, nice and calm, does well to play it on to 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 for Canada, who are hoping that these tired legs may crumble in the Irish defence against them now. Jessie Fleming, midway inside Irish territory, takes more sting out of the game by rolling it out to Ashley Lawrence. Now it's hoisted towards the penalty area. Sinclair tries to win a downward header. Schmidt comes and retrieves the second ball. Canada holding on to possession here. Ireland need to get it back, need to get it down the other end. This is Sinclair turning, unable to shoot. 𝓣𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 does shoot. Great defending 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 to block it away, and it goes out for a Canadian corner. Ireland throwing their body on the line here to keep this game at 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, Christine Sinclair there, she takes the chest. Lily Agg goes steaming in. She just literally just turns her as if she's not even there, but it's fantastic from Canada and even more better defending from Ireland.
Ireland's running out of time. 3 minutes of normal time to go. Everyone back defending the corner here. Ole Ole's from the Irish crowd trying to drum up some reaction for a team that are on the verge of going out of the tournament. Here comes the corner from the right-hand side for Canada. Quinn's beaten in the air. 𝓣𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 sends it back in. Well held by Courtney Brosnan. Now Ireland need to get it down the other end. She bowls it. Underarm to Marisa Shiva. Canters up towards the halfway line. Too much haste though from Ireland as they give the ball away. Quinn pirouettes away from a challenge and storms down the left-hand side for Canada. Shiva will get it back again. Ireland have it, but they're in their final third. They're in need of a miracle now, Gilly Flaherty.
They are, but that's what I mean. Courtney Brosnan there, game management. Don't roll the ball out, boot the ball as far as you can because you've got all the Irish players steaming up.
Here comes Isabel Atkinson down the left-hand side. Good roar from the Irish crowd as she gets to within 15 yards of the penalty area, but she can't pick out a pass. Canada get it away. Header by Louise Quinn, back forward again. You can tell these Irish players are exhausted, but they're giving it everything they can late on. Ball played forward by Fleming. This is a good ball because 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 will get there. Goalkeeper Brosnan thought about coming, then had to retreat quickly. 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 into the penalty area. This can settle it now. Sinclair can't get the shot away, and Marisa Shiva comes away with possession to a big Irish roar for an Ireland team that refused to give up. Atkinson's attempted through ball is cut out, and it goes out for a throw into Ireland. 90 seconds of the 90 minutes to go.
I think any Canadian fan was just hoping that 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 got a head up there because Sinclair was wide open in the box, but she takes another touch and another touch, which gives the Irish defenders time to get back. But again, it's that game management. If you can't get the ball in, hold on to it, because while you've got it, Ireland can't do nothing with it.
Throw in to the Republic of Ireland, trailing 2-1. In danger of back-to-back defeats, and in tournament football, 3 game groups, you can't afford to lose 2. This is Denise O'Sullivan, shoots from well outside the penalty area. It was on target, but it's saved. It was Agg, Lily Agg, right-footed shot, comfortable for Caelan Sheridan.
It's the same thing again though. Are you the right person to be taking that shot? You know what I mean? It's a good effort. It's an okay effort. You know, obviously it's a pretty safe save for Sheridan, but it's just about those final third choices.
Lily Agg, who did score the goal that secured a playoff spot in her home international debut last September against Finland, but in truth was not troubling Caelan Sheridan there. 25 seconds of the 90 minutes remain. We'll soon know what's going to be added on for the stoppages. Canada still rolling up sleeves and pulling up trees in the midfield as they dig in amidst the Irish attempts to get back into the game. Atkinson plays it forward from left back up towards Amber Barrett, does good work to hold it up, supported by Katie McCabe. Now the ball is lunged forward up to Louise Quinn, the centre back who's playing centre forward, trying to unsettle those Canadian defenders. Shiva from the right hand side hangs in across, good goalkeeping by Caelan Sheridan. Ireland are asking questions, but Canada have the answers so far, and it will be 5 minutes to be added on of stoppages.
Yeah, Louise Quinn does everything she can to be a nuisance up there. Obviously Shiva, it's a decent ball into the box, but Sheridan is a brave save because there's 4 Ireland players all around her, but it's a brave save. She comes out and claims it, but they've just got to push. They've got to have a final push.
The spirit's not been in question for Ireland tonight. The work rate has not been in question. Are they just short of quality? 2 games played. As things stand, it's going to be 2 defeats by a single goal margin. Those are the margins at World Cup football. But Ireland, who would have 1 game left to play, but it won't matter if they lose this one. 2-1 down in stoppages at the end. Lily-Ag hurting herself, challenging for a ball in the air. Ireland don't have any time for a delay. Ashley Lawrence prepares to take the throw-in. 1 of the 5 minutes has flown by already. Canada 2, Republic of Ireland 1. Canada using every trick in the book here to delay the restart. Boos from the Ireland fans you'll hear in the background. Ashley Lawrence does take the throw, and it's 1 back for Ireland. Denise O'Sullivan tries to hammer it forward, but Canada repel that attempted Irish attack. Quinn hits the deck. 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 tries to stab it on. There's a hunger about Atkinson as she comes bundling into a challenge, but she's deemed to have fouled Lacasse. Free kick against Izzy Atkinson. Free kick to Canada, and you can be sure they'll take their time over this. Ireland appear to be out of road here. Another delay. 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 is down, cramp. The clock ticks on. We've played 2 of the 5 minutes.
This is all the game management tactics, you know, the cramp, they're taking your time at the throw-ins, but it's what clever teams do. You know, they see the game out well. Obviously, they know that Ireland are going to want to be getting the ball and looking long for it. Like I said, while they've got it, Ireland can't do nothing with it, but it's about those game management now in the last few minutes of the game.
Don't forget, you can take the Women's World Cup with you. Live commentary of every England match and more on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. And there's extra debate and interviews from inside the England camp throughout the tournament on the Football Daily podcast, available through BBC Sounds. Slow to get back to her feet, 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. This will all add to the stoppages. But Ireland, there's no doubt about it, are in need of a miracle now in Perth. Canada 2, Republic of Ireland 1. A game that Ireland led in when Katie McCabe scored direct from a corner inside 4 minutes. The quickest goal at this tournament so far. But Canada showing their nous and their experience, have fought their way back into it. They lead 2-1. And in stoppages, they're about to bring on an experienced substitute in Alicia Chapman. And you look at the players who've come on. Chapman, her 98th cap. Sinclair, her 325th. Schmidt, her 223rd. That experience, Ireland just haven't been able to cope with.
Yeah, and I think that's the difference. But also, it's the experience and the quality of that sort of player. You know, to be able to potentially rest a player like Sinclair, who, yeah, admittedly, she's missed quite a few big chances, but what she's brought to the game this second half, her link-up play, the combination, you know, she's that leadership, that experience. Ireland can't match that.
What do you think? Will Ireland get one last chance?
You got to hope so, ain't you? You got to.
Schmidt to take the throw. No urgency from Canada. Sinclair, right-footed ball down the left wing is accurate to Huitema. Ireland need possession. Canada bring it in towards the corner flag. Huitema shielding, but can't get away from Shiva. Shiva's left foot across the block by Huitema. Chance for Sinclair inside the penalty area. Gives it back out behind to Jessie Fleming. Schmidt with an accurate touch, but it's not controlled by Huitema, and it goes out for an Ireland throw. 45 seconds of the originally allotted 5 minutes to go. Shiva, all bluster and urgency, she takes the throw quickly. Falls back to Lily-Ag, drills it out over to the left-hand side. Atkinson gives it forward. Ireland have got 3 up in attack, but can they get it up to those players? Cut out by the Canadian defence, and out for an Ireland throw. Atkinson sprints to recover it. It's a great turn by Katie McCabe. Can she deliver into the penalty area? Here it comes, but headed away by Vanessa Gilles. Canada are holding firm against Ireland's attempts to get an equaliser, and the 5 minutes are almost up. Fresh legs from Lacasse as she sprints, but good endeavour too by Megan Connolly, and Connolly gets back and prods it to the goalkeeper Brosnan, and Ireland have possession, but they're almost out of time. It's at the discretion of the referee now. We've played the 5 minutes of stoppages. There has been further delays already though in this injury time. Free kick to Canada. Ireland trying everything now, but breaking the rules as Ag commits the foul.
They're literally chucking everything at it, but Canada are doing well, you know, to take that pressure. Fantastic free kick there, won by Jessie Fleming. Very clever, you know, I mean, Lily-Ag does swipe her out, but very clever to win a free kick for a team.
Ireland got the perfect start in Perth, but Canada's quality has shone through, and the hard work on its own has not been enough for Vera Pauw's team. Challenged by Marisa Shiva, tackles Huitema, but the ball goes out for a Canadian throw, and they take their time over that. We're approaching 6 minutes now of stoppage time elapsed. There'll probably be at least another minute maybe 2, but no more than that. Schmidt comes across to take the throw in as slow as she can, deliberately wiping the ball on her shirt. This result would reinvigorate Canada's performance in the group, put them right back into the reckoning, and a chance to beat Australia and to win the group in the final game. Schmidt again takes her time as the ball goes back out for another throw. Ireland fans continuing their vocal support from the crowd. Katie McCabe, you can hear yelling, "Come on there," wants the throw in to be taken. Ireland have got possession back. O'Sullivan to McCabe inside her own half, looking tired for the first time, McCabe, as her pass is cut out. But Ireland get it back again. Shiva launches it high and hopeful into the penalty area. Amber Barrett is up there, but it sails over her head and it goes through to the goalkeeper, Sheridan. Was that Ireland's last chance?
I think if you're being honest, you're going to say that is, isn't it? I mean, Shiva hits the ball in. You think it's going to get to Amber Barrett, but it just goes over the top of her. But I think, yeah, if you look at it now, coming up near 2 minutes over the added 5.
Brave performance from Ireland's girls in green, but their World Cup competitively is over. The full-time whistle is blown by the Argentinian referee, and it is celebration for Canada and their English-born coach Bev Priestman. Canada get their first win of the tournament after the opening draw against Nigeria. The goal from Manchester United's Leon, enough to secure the 3 points in Perth. Ireland will be so disappointed because of the sequence of play. The early goal from Katie McCabe that gave Ireland the lead. The key goal was the own goal before half-time. It came 5 minutes of stoppages ahead of the break in wet and windy conditions. Megan Connolly diverting it into her own net. We will wonder, Gilly Flaherty, what might have been had they got to the dressing room 1-0 in front, but you can't take anything away from Canada. They were the better team in the second half.
Yeah, I think if you're being honest, you're looking at it's probably a game of 2 halves. You know, I think Canada were poor in the first half, really poor. I don't think they expected Ireland to come out the way they did and start the game the way they did. But that's what a good quality team does. They go in at half-time, they know they need to be better. Obviously, Bev Priestman makes 3 changes that shows the depth in the squad, but it's a game of 2 halves, and then Canada are brilliant that second half.
Poor old Megan Connolly down there, shaking hands with the Canadian opponents. She'll be distraught. It was just unfortunate on a skiddy surface. She's tried to hook it away. She's put it into her own net. That own goal, so costly for Ireland.
Yeah, and I mean, as a defender, like, naturally, I've been there. You're going to take it to heart. You know, you're going to feel like it's all your fault, but yeah, there's not much really, I don't think, personally, that she could have done different. You know, she sticks her leg out in the hope to try and block it, and it just skids off the surface due to the weather. But she had a great performance, though, the rest of the game.
Well, we certainly saw the experience of the Canadians play its part, with Christine Sinclair again, not on the score sheet, but there's no doubt that that player who has been a legend in Canadian football made such an impact in the team getting back into it. We're just seeing some close-ups on our monitor here. There were tears in the eyes of the Irish girls. No lack of endeavour. You know, they can leave with their heads held tight because they've tried their absolute best, but the lowest ranked European team of the tournament were always going to find it difficult against the calibre of the Olympic champions.
Yeah, and they can be so proud of their performance, you know, especially in that first half. They were brave, they fought, they were tough to beat, they were hard in their tackles, they was really, really driving themselves on, and no, I think they can walk away from here with their heads held high. They've still got 1 more game to go, but they had a good game. 1
more game to go, but Ireland will now only be playing for pride. Their chances of reaching the last 16 are over. Back-to-back defeats, first against Australia and now against Canada. These are the high standards that Ireland find themselves playing against now. It finishes Canada 2, Republic of Ireland 1. From myself, Conor McNamara, from Gilly Flaherty, thanks very much for joining us here on BBC Radio 5 Sports Extra. England against Denmark will be live on our sister station 5 Live on Friday morning. That's at 9:30 a.m. Now,